not?
The trick is, those are always on my mind.
Okay.
He's like the Hulk, but for sex stuff.
But not in like the weird, perverted way, like the wholesome.
Everybody roll a d20. Except for Andrew.
I'm going to do the
Oh.
Do I get to be a halfling?
Got an 8.
15.
10.
Does this relate to the game?
9.
I think it's going to be who does the recap.
You can re-roll if you'd like.
Or do you want to do the recap?
I'll take it. I'll take the one.
Oh, I mean, it's the highest number does the recap.
Oh, ha
Skylar gets to do the recap.
All right. So we got invited to a really fancy party. We chose to leave most of our belongings back at the Sandflower. I took a dagger with me. Dimble took also 2 daggers, or just one dagger with him, and then Richard Oglen decided he was going to wear his Sunwalker armor to, strut his stuff and, walk around like a peacock, letting the world know he's got a
To flex on him, basically.
chest.
Tell them to check out the merch.
Yeah, and so we go, and then we have to walk through a zone of truth. I wind up giving up my dagger. Dimble fools the zone of truth, makes it through. Still has his weaponry. And then Oglen gets brought upstairs by a guard, and he very lightly threatens the champion who we fought with in an office. But not like it wasn't like super threatening, just being like, yo, don't mess with us, we're not worth messing with. And, if you join us, that'd be pretty cool. And then he gets let back down, and then we all get crowded up and introduced to Salon. And he wants us to make everybody uncomfortable. Ash attempts to do this by walking up to a group of elves and being like, hey, I bet you look good naked.
He said that, by the way.
Differently, but
Basically the same thing.
Not in so many words.
And
uncomfortable. I got this.
he acted like he wanted those elves carnally. But then, look, unbeknownst to him, they wanted him carnally, and then he was the one who got uncomfortable, and then he kind of wussed out and walked away, and sat back down with us, and then we just started bad-mouthing Lawrence Gate like no one's else, just talking mad shit, and then and Islam was like, yeah, keep on talking that shit, and
I don't think that's what he said.
well,
almost got in a fight with someone too.
almost got in a fight with someone,
Yeah.
and then somebody said, that's enough! And then we ended the session.
That was the king that
That
said
was
that.
the king.
That was
The
the king.
Mustara.
Yeah.
Huh.
Must have
I feel like there's a really important event that you left out of that. Like when Matteo arranged the food on his plate way better than you did.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking that was
An active choice?
That was an active choice.
Okay.
He's in charge of the cannon now.
Look, put me in charge of the. Where's mine?
He said, canon can be what.
Anything else?
That's all. Unless if anybody has anything else to add.
Do you have anything else?
I do not.
Cool.
I thought that
That was great.
Yeah, got
pretty
nothing.
succinct. For not
So,
taking any
if memory
notes
serves,
last session.
we ended the session with the ruler of the city standing up and slamming his goblet down on the table.
I'm saying that's enough.
Yeah. And it looks like the salon is still with us at the table, and
We had a hero's feast.
we had a hero's feast. That's right.
I'm gonna whisper to everyone. Guys, I think it really just got serious.
Yeah. And I think at this point, Oglen's looking to the salon to see if he's gonna.
So the ruler of the city looks at Salon and says, "Your insolence won't be tolerated longer. You're dismissed." And Salon kind of leans back in his chair and smirks. And then slowly stands and motions for you guys to follow.
So.
The
Oglen
food
gets
fades
followed.
away that was on the table.
Yeah. Anything folks want to do before we leave? Because I'm just following behind.
I'm gonna walk proud and just with
Yeah.
some strut in my chest.
Yeah.
Just strutting my stuff. Like we I walk in behind the bigger dog.
Why are you looking at me like you're trying to pick me up
I'm
at a
not-
bar?
Hey Gordon, I'm strutting my stuff.
Right? He's like, I'm strutting my stuff, and I'm like, what? So as Salon gets up from the table and starts leaving, Salid says, "You wanted a house war. You have one now." And Salon kind of, anybody who's already gotten up and started moving with him can roll perception.
Okay.
11.
13.
10.
18.
Well, no, wait, hold on.
17
10
or-
plus.
So 15.
So 13 or better, you hear him chuckle under his breath. And some of you get the impression that maybe that's what he was trying to get the whole time.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And he leaves, and he's super calm.
Yep.
Doesn't even seem bothered by it.
Kind of.
His mother, however, is a completely different story.
Hmm.
She looks very worried.
You said the food had disappeared from our
Yeah,
plates?
well, it was a hero's feast that Salon had summoned.
And is Oglen anywhere near the mom of Salon that he could like reassure her? in any
She's
way?
right on his elbow.
Okay. So Oglen will try to catch up and noticing her nervousness. I would say, "Don't worry. Alcaran Empire is right behind you." And then he's gonna walk quietly the rest of the way out.
But what if it's not?
Well, I don't know if it is.
He was just fucking
I'm just trying to encourage.
I didn't know Oglen was an authorized representative of the Empire.
I'm just trying to get this woman to like show a little strong face here on our march out, peacocking. She's got to get some Skylar energy.
Doing nothing more than reiterating the strength of the Alpine Empire.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're strong.
Says one of the Korean Empire's most trusted agents.
Yeah.
Yes, how did this happen? They really will just let anybody in these days.
Yeah. How'd this guy get here?
She doesn't really pay Oglen any heed. She like
Okay.
side eyes him, but doesn't say anything. And she's like clutching at her son's elbow, almost like now she's trying to put on a show of being escorted out.
Oh, okay.
And as you guys leave, there are murmurs going through, and most of the things you catch are in relation to the house war, or a house war being declared. And you guys leave. You're not being taken to the same way you came in.
Okay.
You're going in a different direction than you came into the grounds. Are you going to follow him, or are you going to go the way you came?
Follow him. That's what,
Yeah.
Dimble's gonna speak up. He's like, should we continue to follow you or head back to our own quarters?
That's up to you. You certainly should come to my villa tomorrow morning. We'll get you ready for your journey.
Okay. Well, some of us left a few things at the gate that we came through, so we'll go out that way.
All right.
oh, yeah, good idea. I need my loot back.
Yeah, that's right.
He and his mother walk away.
All right.
Hey, we forgot to ask direction to where his house was.
Okay. So what are you guys doing?
We're
All
walking.
right. So we make our way back to the Sandflower, I suppose.
Okay.
We
We're
gotta get up- go to the
heading
gate
towards
first.
the gate. That
We,
came
are we
in.
fast traveling?
Right.
No.
That's why I'm asking him.
Oh yeah.
Come on, Richard. We got stuck.
I don't know. Don't we have to go past the gate to get to the Sandflower? Since that's the way we came in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're heading
Well,
towards the
he was
Sandflower.
taking you the way that he came in.
Oh, okay.
This is where, if you were following him, you would have gone out a different.
Yeah.
Which is why I was clear to make sure you guys knew that.
Okay. Yeah. So we make our way to the gate.
Don't you guys think it would have been a good idea to ask him, where his house is?
No, I don't imagine. Being a prominent family, his villa will be too hard to find.
Oh, true. Probably one of the big ones with his symbol on it.
Yeah, I figure we just follow them flags. And he points to the one that has the carts, that symbol that we saw before.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Well, some of y'all have stuff here.
So you get to the guardhouse, And the guard says, "Oh, leaving so soon."
Indeed.
Yeah, it's nice that causing a stir at the party was the right thing to do for once. Small chuckle.
You did what?
Nothing.
It was just a good party.
Good party.
Yeah, awesome.
But
Really,
we really
really
need to get
excellent.
our rest.
Everyone was ready.
They were all ready.
Well, all right.
Now
Well,
we're improving.
one of you had a loot, and he, grabs a loot out of the little building and holds it out.
Oh, thank you, my friend.
He says, "And I believe there was a dagger."
Bag.
And he pulls out your dagger, and he looks at it. He says, "It's a really nice looking dagger."
Thank you.
Ain't nothing magical about it, but
That's a real good dagger.
Thank you, sir. And take
He doesn't hold it out. He's still looking at it.
It's worth a coin.
worth some coin.
I'll give you 5 gold for it.
not that little coin.
Not that little coin.
Well, all right then. And he holds it out.
Then take it.
Okay. Well, enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you, you too.
A pleasant evening to you as well.
And we're walking towards the sandflower.
So at this point, it's sort of late. It's dark enough that you think that it's like midway between dusk and midnight.
And does it seem like the folks that we pass, if we pass folks, are recognizing us for being the folks?
You didn't. Once you left the palace, you didn't really see anybody but
Okay.
guards.
Yeah, I would say it's probably pretty empty. It's nighttime.
Okay, good. That's better.
Alright.
Even out on the street, it's fairly empty right now.
Okay.
Right then, let's send on back. Pick up our stuff. Maybe play a tune. What do you guys think?
As I'm staring at you right now, that's how Brew's staring.
I'll take that as a yes.
I'm walking back to the
Okay.
Back to the end.
yeah, back to the end.
Okay. Are you stopping anywhere on the way? I mean, it's pretty late. Most places are
Yeah.
closed.
Not worth it.
How late is it? Is it time that Dimble should break off?
Between 9 and 10 o'clock.
Was it midnight that was told?
Between dusk and midnight.
As we get close to the end, I'll be like, I have one thing to take care of, guys.
No,
I'll
he
be
told you to meet him after midnight.
after. So, okay.
I doesn't really have anything to tell you anymore.
Oh no.
He says, hey, nice meeting you, man. Hope we
Because I
can
told you guys, because Justin wasn't here.
Yeah, that's right. We'll come up with something to tell him, like our secret plan to not leave.
We're gonna actually just
So
sit in
you
town.
get back to the tavern and you walk in, and Eret is behind the bar, but there's nobody else around.
Okay. So we don't see Talora. Okay.
He looks and he looks as you each come in. He's like, "Ah, I take it the event went swimmingly. If you're back so early."
That's one way to say it.
Yeah, you can.
We walked out of our own accord and not under arrest. It went better than
I've
I
heard
thought.
I've heard that you guys made an active choice in supporting a specific house in a newly declared house war.
Wow, word travels fast around here.
The word travels extremely fast if you know the right people.
Yeah. Yes.
And between the time you left the palace and the time you got to the tavern, it was about a 25-30 minute walk.
Okay.
So it's been around a half hour, 45 minutes since all that went down.
Okay.
How common are house wars?
Well, there are 3 going on right now, including the one that was started tonight. So they're fairly common, but the problem is that the Albatil family haven't been in one in 300 years.
Yeah, well, time
Because-
always the first.
Oh, it's not the first.
No, okay.
People just don't choose to fight their family because their family have removed 4 families from the council.
Makes sense.
Can't really be on the council when everybody who carries your name is dead.
What can you tell us about the other 2 turf wars going on?
They're just over minor trade routes. Not even really worth. I don't really see how they could be worth the material that's being spent to fight them. So there's got to be more to it, and it doesn't really impact my responsibilities. So haven't really bothered to learn more about it.
What's it been fought for less?
Would any of these other families, though, be on our side besides the one we're already with?
Well, don't get it wrong. It's not our side. We're not involved in the family.
We're in this shit.
We don't plan to stick around that long.
Yeah. I would prefer to keep myself out of it. You know, especially with someone that wipes 4 families off. You know, the map. Good luck.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know.
We're in it now, boys.
It kind of made a very public statement.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
I actually made a few friends tonight.
that makes one of us.
Give it.
Little
Ash.
clingy.
Ash has a very interesting way of picking up new bedfellows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because 2 guys sleep in the same bed doesn't
Which
mean
is
they're
funny 'cause
fellas.
There's no problem with that. It's the way that he goes about finding them
Which is
that is a little questionable.
a funny thing because he's got a girl back at home who just wants to tap that ass.
Yeah. Hey.
No, I've got to give you honest. You can't because you have
I'm
5.
at +2 now.
Ah, 5 plus 2.
5 plus 2.
Just add those 2 minus your constitution.
So,
Yeah, and this fellow was here when Talora told us all that she told us before.
well, he was telling you too.
He was
We
telling
were
us,
both
okay.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like maybe a lot of these turf wars aren't going to really mean all that much.
Well, it's
here.
not really about turf in the literal sense of areas of ground. Sometimes it's just about taking a contract from one house and giving it to another,
I see.
Yeah.
or about breaking, agreements or marriage contracts.
Or because someone disrespected your family name.
Yeah, it seems there's quite a bit of that going on.
Yeah.
A lot of egos on the line here.
You know, we kind of took that guy's ego and just, you know.
How many houses are in this town?
Well, there are hundreds, but on the council, there are only 7 prominent families on the council. But there are hundreds of
And,
recognized
and
houses.
the Mustara is the leader of that council? Is that how it works?
His house isn't on the council. He's separate from the council.
Okay, so there's like 8 then, sort of, in a way.
7 and a, big
Yeah,
one.
and the big guy, yeah. That's like, I mean, like, in the committee you got, the big guy and then the people, and so,
Except the only person who really has any power is the Mustara.
yeah.
The council is just advisory. They don't actually get to.
Do anything?
Be possible to get a list of the 7 families to our main man over there, pointing at Dimble.
Hey, Gordon, can
How
you...
possible would it be for you to fall up a flight of stairs?
Done it before.
We can help you improv some names. The Cardi Carrie Wagonson. Oh, okay, he's got names.
I literally have a name.
You didn't like Cardi McCarry Wagonson?
No.
Come on.
Do me a favor. Take 7 wisdom off of your character.
Now I have 2 wisdom. That's 2 more than I should have.
Is the Mustara a
Self-burn,
leader of
put
just
2
one
back.
state, or Mustara rule other towns?
I mean, there are a couple of small outlying villages that fall under, but it's primarily Lord's Gate and the area surrounding it.
So one would consider this town a sort of city-state unto itself.
Yep.
Mustara is the leader. I give.
I agree. Makes sense.
And so when Lawrence Gate is to march here in Pending, do they do that alone? Are there other towns that are going to bolster their forces? I'm having a hard time understanding why they would march on an empire if it's just...
Please don't take this the wrong way, but I don't think that's information that I should be sharing with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
While I know who and what you are, you're also not in a position that I should be giving you the information that we've collected.
Yeah,
You know-
I understand.
We're like a guild, we're not like official diplomats or anything. I mean, I'm just here so we can go get that treasure in the desert. Well, and other reasons,
No.
but that's a good one.
Kind of hope Matteo dies in the desert.
I mean, treasure's always nice. But, you know,
I thought
there's
it's
other
because
reasons.
you wanted archaeological finds.
Well, that too, but like that's kind of included in treasure. You know, another man's archaeological find is another man's treasure.
Oh, I thought you were a man of science, not a man of greed.
Okay.
No, it's not like
I gotta write that down.
it's not like greed. It's like more like
That's our
you know,
episode
preserving the history by keeping it to myself. Think of it like that.
Was that diamond preserving history
What diamond? What are you talking
back in
about?
the shitty place?
What? I didn't. That was nothing to do with me.
Okay, I'll just say it. I think we need a halfling dictionary.
I'd like to point out that that's going to be the quote for the video this week. Is, one man's archaeological find is one man's treasure.
Just happens to be the same man.
It's just the same man now.
I was so hoping you were going to say it right. One man's archaeological find is another man's treasure, but you didn't.
It's even better. It's better because you didn't.
I mean, he do be spitting facts, though. He's not wrong.
It do be like that.
So the information that you actually asked for
He's
isn't
too
relevant for you
intelligent,
guys.
very smart.
Okay. It's not that I don't want to share it. It's just actually not relevant because unless you guys make it, we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Because this whole thing was actually a side quest that you guys did. So let's see if you stick with it.
Damn it, we accidentally did a side quest.
Yeah.
You thought this was the main story?
You guys were supposed to keep on the lookout for that
Oh, that-
shit.
Yeah, come on.
That opportunity where we were like, hey, we could just leave in the middle of the night and go to the desert.
Yeah.
It was an actual opportunity to not have to do this.
Not have to do it.
And now we gotta burn down
And
the
see,
whole
now
town.
I'm involved. There's this whole arch nemesis with the red claw guy. We gotta hear his story, Gordon.
What?
What?
The champion, the Lawrence Gate champion, the big red guy with the claws.
I wouldn't call him an arch nemesis.
Oh yeah, we were.
He's just like a mini boss.
He was pretty chill.
I was hamming.
He could have had like Oglen like slaughtered right there.
I was hamming.
Wow, maybe you just hurt his feelings.
Oglen's backstory vigilante. Like, I'm just picturing it like.
No, it's a guy
swear
who,
to me.
it's a fucking murderer. Oglen was a murderer.
Yeah,
He's
he
the worst
literally
kind.
killed kids. Murdered
I
multiple
really
kids.
killed some children. Not on purpose.
Yeah.
So-
And I'm the bad guy for wanting money.
Yeah, right?
Except you would steal the money and he's trying to atone.
It's not stealing, it's acquiring wealth from the dead.
As Matteo would say, tomato, tomato.
Tomato Matteo.
So he looks at you and he says, "Yeah, as far as anybody who would fight with you, I mean, unless you actually throw your hat into the house war as mercenaries for one of the houses, you should be left alone.
Okay.
Unless you made any really public statements supporting one over the other."
Hey guys, I think that includes us.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I joined this guild to
we
get
didn't
away from
necessarily
the
say we supported
mercenary
him. We
life.
just said a lot of ideas that he's stated himself before.
That's right.
Oglen, did you whisper to the lady? Did we hear you when you said that?
It would have just been reassuring to her. He wasn't intending to announce, but I'm sure some of the people around probably would have heard.
I didn't even roll because there's so many people around.
Yeah. But yeah, it seemed like our
Oglen,
position.
now that we're away from everybody, you really should withhold from making promises from the army. You have to remember that we're not actually in the army.
Well,
Yeah, we are,
We're the World Walkers. We're not in the Alkarian army.
Yeah.
well, I understand that. This is a tricky situation. 'Cause,
You were resolved.
We were a freelance guild, and a couple of you happen to just become super powerful agents of the Alkarian Empire.
well, and that's
Too many
right.
here, they think you are too, so.
Yeah, and I've relinquished my position in the World Walkers, and that is specifically because of where my priorities lie. I need to be real clear that if Alcar demands that I stay here to accomplish whatever task Alcar has for me, then I'm gonna have to do that.
So do you have like a
To be
direct-
frank, I think Alcar doesn't give two milk-busters about Lawrence Gate.
What? So good. That was something. Have an inspiration for that. That was good.
Like one of those safe curse words.
Yeah. So Oglen chuckles at
But it-
Knucklebusters.
It sounded supernatural
Yeah.
though.
You might be right,
You
Dimble.
didn't get two knucklebusters about Lawrence Gate. His big plans are much bigger than we can understand, and they're much grander. You know, ripples in the sky, magic going awry. You know, those are things that concern him, not what's going on in one small town.
Yeah, not this town of slaves that we're
That's-
trying to free.
He's pretty much told us himself that, you know, the even the empire as a whole, he isn't directly involved with too much anymore.
Guys, I think we're missing the bigger picture, right? No, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, Dimble, I hear you, and you very well could be right, but Ashranen raises a good point as well. I can't just walk by this place and pretend like Alcar's not interested in the lives of these people here. The reason that
Thank you.
Alcar is who he is specifically because he cares about these types of things.
I just realized. I remembered.
Oh,
There's
yes.
not going to be a Lawrence Gate to overthrow if there's no Lawrence Gate.
Well, that's right.
So I'm saying there might be bigger stuff for us to do to make sure, that there is still one to overthrow.
The question of which of these stuffs is the bigger one is an important question for us to ask. Because as you all noticed, I don't see any of that ripple in the sky anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that tells me that whatever we were chasing has already run off. I'm afraid that we're about to trek who knows how many days into this desert, and we're going to get there and there ain't going to be nothing to see.
Well, maybe it's like an earthquake. You ever seen one of them? When it and then it goes
Well,
and then, a couple days later.
It could be, but let me finish.
You
my
trying to find
point.
archaeological treasures? Ah.
It could very well be, but recognize that you're asking me to choose between something that could be very important. But to choose that thing, I have to give up on something that I know is good right now. I'm walking in a city that needs our help, and it's help that we can give. And I know that we can give it. So I want us to think real serious about whether we're going to walk away from this to walk into that. And he gestures up into the normal sky that's in the direction of the desert.
We also have to keep in mind that Alsterian said he would come back and level this town. So let's not commit too many resources or emotions to this place.
That's a good point. What do
He's
the rest of
down
y'all
for
think?
We could do good wherever we go, but we can't stick for every kid that has a scraped knee or every starving mother with a baby on her knee.
But to raise the point, we do have a lot of resources now, especially with the big money bank we have backing our names now. We could free all these slaves, though frowned upon. Isn't that exactly what the man backing us wants? To make these people uncomfortable with the lack of slaves. I mean, how much effort can it really take to take these people out of slavery? It takes no more than a day to make this transaction. I mean, what's one more day here to do what we came here to accomplish? Well, not came here to accomplish, but
We came here to
decided
get
to
horses
accomplish.
and stock back up.
Well, when alcohol cost you, as it did Oglen, I mean, how do you not ignore that? I mean, us as men of that god, shouldn't we know that he is an extension of ourselves, or we are an extension of him?
He wants to see us in the morning. I say we do that. As far as the rift in the desert and all that, I say to you, Oglen, we didn't really know going into that other place whether we were going to actually get you or not. We didn't know what we were walking into, yet we continue to walk.
Yeah.
So we don't know what we'll get into with the desert. But we should continue to walk.
That's well said, Brudall.
We are the will.
That's right. He tries to reach your shoulder with some effort.
We'll slightly bring
Slightly
my shoulder
bent.
down.
nice reassuring pat. I can always count on you all to help me keep my head on straight.
Here's the truth of it. The last good direction we had was towards the desert. We got sidetracked, we got off the path a little bit of where we were supposed to do. And my hope is that we can get back, once we get to the desert, we can get back onto the path and get more direction from what the next thing is that we're supposed to be doing.
But also, this quote I just came up with is, "Those that stop are not lost." Because when you stop, you try to read a map. You can't really read a map while you're walking that well.
Yeah, that's right. Those
Inspiration from Matteo.
Those that
His
stop
map
are-
reading ability. So
are
I mean,
finding the way.
I just want to say that just because the majority of the group disagrees with you, I want you to know that I back your personal reasons as well as your holy reasons.
What the fuck?
Well, thank you, Ashranen. I appreciate it. One of the things that makes this group work is that we
I'm
talk
sorry, I'm
to
still
each
stuck with
other.
the map thing.
Those that stop are waiting for Google Maps to load. They are not lost. They just have poor reception.
They're calibrating the compass on their phone.
But I appreciate that, Ashranen.
I think the first thing we need to vote on
You need
here
to
is,
drop
are
that
we going to
dumbass
actually go
bomb
see
or
this guy in the
drop the
morning,
truth
or are we,
Yeah.
hitting the desert and getting out of here?
Well, he's already promised to help us for causing a ruckus at the party. We don't have to pledge loyalties from him, but I think we should at least collect the debt. Maybe he could pay for all of our mounts and stuff at the very least.
Oh, or maybe pay for our bits that we put in.
I think we should ask him for resources instead of money.
Horses would be resources.
Oh, with money you can buy whatever resources you
Not
want.
exactly horses, but desert mounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, like camels. You ever ride a camel?
I'd just rather not try to walk into a store and buy shit anymore. This place sucks.
Hear that.
Yeah, but have you
Even
ever
my fellow gnomes want to rip me off.
I don't know, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm glad no halflings tried to do that to me. They would have had one coming for me.
You notice there aren't any halflings here.
Well, yeah, some of them, but they're not, you know.
None in power.
Yeah.
Oh, we did never stop
can't
by
call
the
police.
halfling ghetto. Where they keep all the halflings because they're poor, because
If you want to stop by the halfling lady house, that's on your time, Ash.
it's not what I said, Dimble.
Your face said it.
I have a mask on.
You can't read me.
I agree.
Yeah, it's great. Tomorrow morning we go see what he has to say, and then we head out of here.
So what's the plan then? Leave? What time are we leaving? Like right after we?
Then we just say the plan.
I mean, I'm just
Just say the plan.
Yeah, reinforcing the plan.
Yeah, we meet him, and then if he can get us the mounts to leave, we take them and go. I think we should take all of our gear with us when we leave from the inn in the morning.
Oh, I agree. Don't want to leave
Except for the
everything.
paid storage. I'm gonna leave my fake mail here.
Yeah.
So should we set watches tonight to make sure we don't get assassinated?
That is
Well,
perhaps wise.
I mean, I'm just saying.
That show's pretty fun. I never even considered that.
I don't think we're technically part of the clan war yet.
No, not yet. We'll be fine.
Well, technically, but I mean that doesn't mean they can't technically just send someone to kill us.
Yeah. Well, I've got plenty to think about tonight, so I
Well,
can keep an eye on
I'll
things.
tell you this. It's going to be a long time. It's been a long time since we've gotten to sleep in a real bed, and it'll be a long time again before we get to again. I'm not going to rob anyone of that chance.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm going to take the watch. I'm just saying, should we?
We'll be fine.
Okay. But if I die, that blood's on your hands.
Does anyone know the magic alarm? How that works?
I do not.
I have to read a spell again. I've been using it for 4 months.
I mean, you like string a silver wire across.
And then they walk on it.
It's like an audible or a mental
Yeah, we
alarm.
true up. If it's true. You can set it on like a
It's just
little
the
light.
janitor like sweeping.
30 feet. I don't know how large our rooms are.
Well, the door is certainly not 30 feet across.
The rooms probably aren't that big. Each room is probably 15 feet wide. 20
Cast
feet
like
long.
3 alarms then, all on ourselves because I can't cover all that room.
And
Just one.
what tone do you set for your alarm?
Beep, beep, beep.
Maybe that really relaxing.
The sound of his horse dying.
It haunts him every
No.
night.
It's not the sound of the arrow funking into the back of the head.
The squelch.
It's actually the sound of like a bug. flying
Could also
out
be
your
the
ear, so you're
sound of the
like,
horses scraping across the road at 30 miles an hour. I shoot my horse in the back of the head. Why? Roll attack. My favorite was he said all that, and then nat 20 the horse to death.
Oglen, are you going to return your armor to storage, or do you want to wear it to meet this guy tomorrow?
Yeah. We plan on making our way out of here pretty shortly afterwards, right?
I think we would draw less attention getting there if you didn't have it on as well. But it's your choice.
Well, it might also send a helpful message so that folks can see us outfitted to leave. And so they assume that we're making our way out. And I don't know. I can't be certain. And Oglen's sort of jostling the armor around. But I'm not sure how well this is holding together anymore. Something that guy did to us in the arena. I don't know. It doesn't look damaged, but
Why didn't you ask him to fix it?
well, I'll be honest. I was too busy fearing for my life and trying to be the biggest dog in the room, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Well-
you are only like 4 foot tall, but you know,
If you
sometimes you have
If
to
you
have
want
a
to
big bar.
stop by an armorer on the way out and see if they'll repair it, I don't know if they'll work on it because of the emblem that's on it or
Yeah.
if they're capable, but some of those repairs can take. It's easier to make new armor than it is to fix an existing one.
Yeah.
For the right price, anyone will do anything. So,
Yeah, that's right.
don't you guys have that magic money bag?
Magic money bag.
What?
If we had a magic money bag, don't you think you'd be the first to know?
I think I would be the first to know. And why am I not holding it if
yeah.
I do?
Who's our treasurer now? Wouldn't they know?
I wish I had a magic money bag. How cool that'd be.
Are you guys going to bed now?
Do either of the bartenders have any knowledge of like whether or not this armor could be repaired by somebody in the city, looking the way it does? Like, are they just going to turn their noses up at it because it's got the sun on there, or?
Eric kind of laughs at you and tells you you're probably not going to find anybody who would openly help you.
Do that here. All right. Well, no worries. I'd still appreciate y'all hanging on to it for me. It holds some memories. And then, any other things y'all want to do?
Yeah, I want to grab Oglen for a quick one-on-one sesh.
Oh, nice.
But not
This is
like
what-
that. Only
This,
talking. Only
this
talking.
is what the fans
That
came to
escalated.
see.
Who brought some content that is also related to the story?
Okay.
Right around midnight, Dimble's going to slip out.
I'm
So,
gonna, sorry, real quick.
no, you go ahead.
I'm gonna put my hand on Sano's shoulder and like, hey, can I borrow the knife?
And I just pulled out the knife.
Watch
Hands it
out.
to you first.
I didn't say it.
After Matteo goes to bed, I'm going to jam the knife into the floor so it pins the door closed, just enough. You have to push on it really hard to get it open. And I'm just gonna kind of chuckle to myself and say, "There's your security, bitch."
Until I steal that
But
dagger.
he's not the only one sleeping in that room. You guys don't have your own rooms.
Collateral.
Yep, that's right. Sometimes.
He knew the
Brew
risks.
wouldn't think about that. He would just do it.
Yep. It's funny. That's real funny.
Get fucked,
Well,
bitch.
That's real
Ooh,
funny.
that's
Get fucked,
86%
I don't remember who was sleeping in there with me. I just know I saw you go in there.
Yep.
Yeah, what are
Roll
the room?
percentile.
Yeah, what are the room of silence? Do we ever, or did we all just?
No, you guys don't ever actually do
I
that.
think we say yeah.
Shenanigans have never actually occurred like this.
67.
Brudall realizes after putting a ridiculous amount of effort into stabbing this dagger into the wooden floor that he is also sleeping in that room.
So sleep in the bar?
Sleep on the bar. You can just climb into
What
the window.
straw did I draw that you and I are sleeping in the same?
Climb in through the window. So that way you have plausible deniability. There's no way I could have done this.
I climbed through the window.
I would have locked myself in, and how foolish would that be? It's the best cover. You said Ashranen wants to.
Oh yeah, I wanted to grab your ear. So, about this whole moving forward thing, are you sure you want to just lean in with the majority decision? I mean, I know how much this means to you, and you saying you potentially want to stay here for this cause you've only known about for like 3 days. It's alarming and concerning because I know you've been a new person since you've been back from the place we train, and I just wanted to make sure that you were making this decision for what you feel is the right reason.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming to see me, Ash. Truth is, no, I'm not sure about this at all. To be honest, if Truegar hadn't grabbed my hand and held it throughout that entire diplomatic exchange, I might have just bargained in the terms of power to get the things that I needed to accomplish the goals that I want. And he sighs, looks away. But you're right about one thing, certainly. The dwarf that went into that place did not come out. And I'm not sure I trust my ideas about what's right and wrong anymore.
I just know how much influence Dimble has, especially with his tenure and his experience and all that, but he's not the, well, he is the ultimate authority, but, you know, morally, he's not the most sound of people.
What?
What?
Yeah,
This
that's
is-
It had to be said, I'm sorry!
It had to be said.
Surprise Pikachu face.
What?
yeah. That,
It's
I
just,
know that.
Oh my god.
The only thing that really keeps me here is the thoughts of how much we've accomplished for Alcar by accident with these folks. It seems like the people we travel with have this uncanny ability to stumble their way straight to success.
I mean, just look at Matteo. I mean, how do you think he's made it this far? It's pure luck. Claims it's Halfling, and I'm starting to believe it too.
And Dimble was right, at least that Alcar can use us to do good wherever we are. But
But don't you think that connection drawing you here towards that slave market, it's just, you don't think that was a sign? I mean, he does work in mysterious ways. He literally does not talk to us ever.
I
Well,
wonder.
Not ever. I look up and I say that.
I do wonder about the timing of all this. It's unusual that we've met other operatives of, seeking the Empire's interests, who are learning of this very time-sensitive information, this opportunity that we'll have here if we just delay but a couple more weeks. But I'm still not certain what. I'm not certain I can trust my ideas about what's right. If it was up to me, we would not go to that desert. We would walk out, make a big scene, hide for 2 weeks, and return with the help of the Shadowwalkers, or whatever the name was of the person that we talked to.
Now that I heard
It's a
your
lore.
idea, I think it is best we
Did you
stick with
change
the
the
Warlocker's
Wi-Fi
plan.
password?
Because that seems self-destructive, selfish, and very optimistic. It's,
It is Meeseeks, right?
I didn't,
No, not the password. The router's name.
I just wanted you to know that you were,
No, existence is pain. I said I'm
And-
guessing it.
Oh,
that
what the hell
you
is
don't have to
this?
confine to the majority just because it's said with the power of the authority. Simple.
Yeah.
Can you connect?
You have moral obligations, of course, but I just want to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I am.
Well, if you're not sure, then we should just stick with the plan. Well, that's probably enough talking for me. I might start saying the wrong things in front of you and then make my wiseness look really embarrassing. So I'm going to make my way off now.
Yeah. You'll never make yourself out to be unwise to me, Ashranen.
That makes fun of us.
Good night, Oglen.
Thank you.
Don't say anything else.
Don't say anything else. Let's walk away.
Matteo is sitting in his room patting his loot, wondering, man, where's Brudall? He's supposed to be in here by now.
Yeah. And if Truegar's still up and awake, Oglen would try to approach him.
I don't even know
For a
who
short
I'm
period of
with.
time.
Yeah.
Probably kicks me out of a room.
Is Truegar like down at the bar drinking late, or?
Brudall, after 5 minutes of contemplating, would have taken the knife out and gone back in.
Oh,
okay.
He would have been trying to decide if he sleeps out down in the tavern just to.
Was it
fall
worth the
through.
joke?
Yeah.
And you say, oh, nice dagger, this is mine now.
No, I am gonna hold on to it for the night.
Oh man.
Not even a sneak thief, just a thief.
Is Sano like waiting in the hallway for you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sano's just chilling in the hallway.
Waiting for the return. And is Truegar anywhere to be seen?
I would be
Only
ignored
sleeping.
you
In his
taking
room, already asleep.
I
And
think
I'm sitting there.
if I were to pass those stab marks in the floor, would they be noticeable?
Probably.
Probably would have checked in to see
floorboard.
who's.
He just said he just stabbed
Yeah,
the
and I
It
floor.
was
sounded like he's just stabbing the floor. Hoping
That's
it
what he
sticks.
said. He said he's just gonna
I
stab the
was jabbing
floor.
it into the floor to try and shimmy it to the door.
Oh, like underneath the door to the floor.
Like a wedge?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were like
So
stabbing
I mean,
it in.
if he did try to like forcefully open it, it probably would have left marks. If anything, it would have
Okay.
had such a minuscule mark. I don't know, elf eyesight. If you
Good thing you
Rudolph
cleared-
forgot that it's a pool door.
Good thing you cleared it up, because I was totally gonna mess with Matteo. But I would just go to bed instead.
There's actually a huge.
Yeah, I'm just still standing outside. And I'm like just waiting.
Opportunity missed.
And
I was
then
like,
about like 10 minutes go by.
Brew! I know my job.
Okay.
He fell asleep. What do you want?
My dagger.
Anything else?
Oh, sorry, I've commandeered that.
So-
Have a good night.
Truegar's already asleep. Oglen will make his way back to his room and try to sleep, but he does not sleep for a very long time.
Oversleep.
I think,
39, not bad.
and I want everybody.
That's some my
uh,
mermaid.
thought
So
on
it's
this.
Oglen's asleep. It's nearing midnight. It's right about midnight.
All right. And I wanted to ask your all's permission to do something.
Yes, you
when
have to do a pee.
No, when Alexis joined us, I basically just dropped the PTSD thing because I didn't think it was really, appropriate at the time. So if y'all cool with me picking that part of Oglen's character back up, then we can start exploring that again.
Yes.
Can you run it by Gordon in the closet? I don't want to feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
Do you
Hey.
miss your closet time, Ben?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. Okay. Yeah. So that
I feel like
Oglen-
it's a very important part of the character.
Yes.
Shouldn't be left out right
Yeah.
now.
So Oglen doesn't sleep for two big reasons. One,
He's a bitch.
he's running over in his mind about whether or not we should be going to the desert, whether or not he's doing the right thing. But his main focus for the rumination on that is because he's just plagued by these terrible nightmares. And I kind of like this image. So if in the audience's mind, you see little flashes of like the night terrors that stir Oglen awake. In every scene, he is torturing one of you in a different way. And little flashes of like, Matteo, who's like a little younger, like a small child, and he awakens to have his hands
He's not
around,
torturing you.
around
He's
your
torturing
throat,
you.
right? And then
Damn, he's killing my whole lineage.
He's
Yeah.
trying to kill Mateo before Mateo was
Little-
Mateo.
yeah, right.
Baby Mateo.
Like, baby Matteo.
The real morality question.
So it's kind of like merging what happened to you in the temple and torturing each other.
Right. And you just see like Oglen's face just so lack of emotion anymore. Like he's been forced to do this for so long. It doesn't even hurt him. And that's why it hurts him. He's so numb that he knows he's dead. He knows there's nothing left.
I'm gonna put in my notes. Oglen's a little bitch.
Oglen is a dwarf.
Oglen chokes child Matteo.
I now need somebody to make a custom music video of the song Gnome by
Yeah.
a certain band with Oglen the whole time.
Just
It's Johnny Cash hurt.
I hurt my friend
yeah.
today.
There we go.
To see if they still feel.
There it is. And I guess eventually, after the exhaustion of being startled awake from a terrible sweat-drenched night terror, he might pass out for some short period of time. But anybody that's sleeping in the room with him probably hears a lot of the familiar rumblings they're used to. No more of the snoring because he can't even fall asleep to do that. It's just a lot of waking up to startled screams and then Oglen trying to hide it. Pretend like nothing's happening. But I'm interested to hear what happens with Dimble and our spy friends.
I think it's more interesting to talk about how Oglen's a bitch.
Yeah. That was a lot of emotional content for this part of the podcast.
Because now I'm gonna have to really work my improv skills.
After that, I need to roll some dice.
Yeah, come on.
How much am I gonna respond?
Though beforehand, I do need everyone to roll percentile and give me the numbers.
Let me roll in your box.
Does a Tarrasque invade the town?
No,
Not yet.
I don't want to put you guys into another bullshit encounter like
That's
that. So.
101?
Oh man. So I got 2
101
zeros and a
doesn't
1.
exist.
Is that a 100 or is that a 1?
It's a 1.
That's a 1.
One.
All
Oh,
right.
so that one.
However,
Three zeros.
3
is
zeros.
100.
100.
Okay. All
Well,
right.
that's what-
I got
that's
it.
what Justin-
So we have to pull out. We got our bookends covered.
That's right.
Master of the Fates.
It's
Covering the spread.
58.
58. All right.
48.
Wait, 48?
Yeah.
No,
What?
he said
You guys
percentile
are
dice.
like so
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah.
It's
Sleeping
not
in-
even funny.
Sleeping
like
in
the
the
same
same
person.
room.
That's
Same
actually
room.
that's end of campaign. We become the best of friends. Open up a tavern, all that jazz.
That's the end game plot.
This is on
We
illusion.
stop hating each other.
Oglen's illusion. Life is actually torture the whole time.
it's actually
We're all
just-
friends. We're just
Existence
called
continues.
Brewing
hopping
books.
around.
That's how he tortures Brew. Make him hang out with Matteo.
Makes him hang out with Matteo.
100.
I got a 100, yeah.
He got a 100, I got a 14. It's the perfect age to torture
48.
Matteo.
Yes.
48.
7.
Just 7.
Yeah.
Damn.
1.
Hey, at least I'm not this guy, right?
I rolled a natural 1 on
58.
WoW doing a roll 100.
Wow.
What's Brudall roll?
48 as well.
No way.
48 games.
That's
That's taken to
statistically
stars.
unlikely. You guys are meant to be best friends.
We need a joint.
I just rolled a 77 for Sam.
Is this about who gets assassinated tonight?
How's that a question? It would just be Matteo.
It would just be Matteo.
Would you roll? Okay, that's the number.
Well, I mean,
Well, what about
give you a
Brew?
dagger to
No,
use.
What number did you roll, Matteo? Okay. You guys won't know what those numbers are for, by the way.
You need to get a dice that actually says Matteo for the 1.
I would do that, but getting custom dice are expensive. So, everybody is in bed right now except for Dimble. Yeah?
Yep.
Everyone's sleeping?
well, I was waiting outside until about like 12:30. I was waiting for my dagger back, but which I never got, and I just give up.
I told him I
around 12.
commandeered it.
Sano is super awkward.
Yeah.
He's just
Well,
standing
they
outside
only
the
have
Just
door.
stood there, he didn't knock on the door, ask for things. That's the...
Matteo even said, "Hey, we stole your dagger," and he's just still standing there.
Did you
Like,
see Sano standing there like this?
I'm not gonna wait all night.
What are you doing?
You're the
Just
dad.
waiting for my dagger.
You're the dad that's up at like
And
4
in the other room, you
morning.
hear Brudall. Okay, Sano watches Dimble leave the tavern.
Bye.
Bye.
I mean, he didn't see you,
But now he
but now he knows you're there because you. Bye.
That was it. That was it. And then
Okay.
No questions. No necessary. I'm just waiting on.
Sano's just a Walmart greeter
When
that
he
likes
says bye,
knife.
I turn back to him and go, if I'm not back by morning, don't wait for me.
Okay, I'll let them know. And then,
See, Justin's not telling you. We discussed Dimble's gonna die tonight.
Oh no.
He wants to play a new character.
Oh, what? Oh.
that's not true.
Dimble,
I don't
R.I.P..
believe that.
Dimble R.I.P.
Wait.
Mateo's the leader.
Wait.
Well done, bro.
You said Mateo's the leader, and Will straight went.
It's like absolutely not.
And I could just hear in his mind, the fuck he is.
Well said.
I gotta be honest, Will. That laugh was the smirk and shrug was just the best fucking thing I've seen tonight. He straight went, the fuck he is. So, Dimble leaves the tavern. Is he going to the place where he saw the guy?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get there, and how long would Dimble wait for somebody to show up before he gave up? Knowing the secretive and clandestine nature of the Shadowwalkers, how long would he wait?
Probably an hour, a little over an hour.
Okay, roll 3d20s.
That sucks. I'm
And
next in
after like
line
the
for
first
leader.
15 minutes, he moved back to a more secluded area where there's less.
Oh, I assumed he would just be like in the shadows, literally. Like,
You're
chilling
unfit to
in the
roll,
shadows.
sir. Don't worry, I'll pardon you and then
4, 17,
get you
20.
back in.
Okay, so 41 minutes later. You not so much see or hear, but feel somebody else is there. And across from you, he says, "Sorry, I was late."
That's okay. It's been an eventful evening. It was nice to have a few minutes of silence to myself.
I suppose you would say that, considering the circus that you and your companions caused.
Oh, you heard about that then? Eh?
I saw that.
You were there?
I was.
Oh, I didn't see you anywhere. Well, I guess I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. Maybe one day you won't see you there either.
I don't know. I think it would take a lot for me to not be this out being noticed.
Sometimes it comes in handy to be able to slip into the shadows unnoticed.
Oh, that's true. But it seems to me whenever I try to be the sneakiest, that's when I'm not.
It's so true.
Not foreshadowing at all.
So before I say what I need to say, I need to know what you and your group have seen or done since you've been here.
Well, we arrived in town. Didn't take us long to figure out that little people were frowned upon and that most of us were slaves and that slavery in general was a big thing here. We kind of knew that before we walked into the town, but it was very prominent. Then we bought a large group of slaves and freed them, and that's where we came across the Sunwalker that I told you about earlier. I think he's still alive. Oh, no, wait. I didn't tell you that. And we freed him, and he's still alive. I told him that you're still alive.
You freed who?
Ulsterian.
The Firewalker?
Yes.
He left?
He took a large group of people back with him, the other slaves that we freed, and said he'd be back within a few days to level the city, pretty much. Or to wreak his wrath.
It's unlikely that he'll be allowed to come back here.
Oh. Why is that?
Because the Empire wants the city, but doesn't want it destroyed.
No, I mean, that definitely seemed his intentions.
Conquering empty land isn't really as useful as conquering cities full of people.
That's true. Burnt buildings don't serve much purpose.
No, they don't. Neither do destroy towns.
No. Well, you're much better gathering information than me, so I'm assuming you've already heard that they plan to march out to meet the Halfling Empire.
Yeah, at this point it's in less than a fortnight.
Do you have means of transporting those information back to...
The Empire knows.
Okay.
I would imagine that General Relman has been recalled to Ageria with his forces from the north.
Were you there in the arena when we were fighting?
Well, I wasn't in the arena, but I saw.
Did you see their champion transform?
I did. I've never actually seen that before.
We went to talk to him at the party, and there was some hinting that he's not the only one that can do that. But he might be the one that's best at it, but others in the army will probably be able to do that as well. Even though they're only one city, they seemed to have little doubt of being able to take on the Empire.
They don't have a information gathering service such that most governments have.
So you're saying...
So they're being fed information by another party that I believe is using the Empire as a wall to smash the Lorrainians into, to make it easier for them to come in and take the city.
Do you know who that might be?
The same people who are funding them to pay people to become soldiers. The Onribin Conifate.
Oh, I've heard of them before. We were supposed to go...
Yes, I know. You were supposed to be envoys to them, and
Yeah.
you never made it there.
We did not.
Sorry, I was too busy dying.
That's when they had our sour encounter that led to me being a Shadowwalker.
So it wasn't an entirely bad thing.
No, I guess not. I didn't imagine our envoy trip there would have been too successful anyway.
Oh, we got some smooth talkers.
Can't convince a king to give up a kingdom. It's just not how it works.
We
Doesn't
intend
work
to
out.
continue on. We're meeting the family first thing in the morning, but after that we plan to continue on our trip out to the desert.
I mean, I don't know of your group's goals. You're just an independent group.
No, but I figured I'd share and to see if you know of any information on why we should not proceed down that path.
I didn't know that you should go there to begin with. I don't really know that there's anything there that I care about, or that the Empire proper cares about. But I mean, your group has 3 people who are rumored to have close ties with our patron. So
Yeah,
if you're going there, then maybe that's where you're supposed to be going.
I believe so, but recent events and not everyone agrees. So I just figured I'd toss it out there. It never hurts to have or to seek information, as you well know.
I don't know that you should or shouldn't go there.
Fair enough.
I know that it's unlikely you'll be a part of any of the stuff that happens with Lauren's Gate if you are there.
Would there be a part to play if we stayed?
I mean, you would probably be thrown into the mix and fight with the army.
Yeah,
They don't
not really want to be
Really?
in a large-scale battle.
Gordon's like, right guys, I'm gonna roll initiative.
No, you would all be broken down into army units, and each unit would have initiative. I'm not doing everything gets its. Are you out of your mind?
Alright, minion 35,
Fuck, which number was I on?
yeah, wait, how far away is he from you?
Is that the one that hit the ballista last time?
Serious thought, though, to
10
have
sessions
Matteo-
later. Okay, that's the first turn.
Mateo's like a Jedi, bro.
I think I
He's
quit.
6
Serious
seconds.
thought
Three,
to have Matteo
3
in
years
charge
into
of
the
a bunch of
game,
troops.
the battle just finished.
Finally.
So wait, which stone is loose again? Which wall? Can you bring minis next time?
I quit. I just quit.
Platoon running backwards. Oh, that's Mateo's platoon.
Sam,
It's
yeah.
called a tactical retreat.
They're not running backwards, damn it. They're hiding in the bush with their rocks.
True.
Alright, boys, we're doing the bush rock tactic, one of my favorite tactics.
The whole army's
While we're
in
here
the
waiting,
city,
let me tell you the
but
business.
Mateo's platoon is still in the bushes with rocks.
Alright, guys, if they come near us, we're gonna.
They never expect to wait till you've lost.
And then you know they're gonna be people in the platoon. They're like, they really put this guy in charge? Like, for real?
Really, it's a genius move, though. They just don't see it coming.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, there's supposed to be a whole nother unit. And it's like, but we're in the
Maybe
bush.
they're above us, but really they're just in the bushes.
So you, because of the theatrics of your group, you may be in the house war and not realize it.
So we may already be considered part of it.
You may already be considered mercenary allies of House Batille.
Would there be anybody that will try to stop us from leaving the city? Or would they be happy to see us stay?
He like smiles after the performance that some of you put on in the arena. I don't think anybody would try to stop you. I think they would be grateful that you were leaving.
Okay.
The only... So I'll explain how the house wars work here, because they're all very heavily codified in the laws. The military of the city can't actually be used in a house war. They're independent of the houses. Commanded by Salid, but they don't perform house duties. But house guard is used, and spies and assassins can all be used in house wars. Mercenaries can be hired.
Should we be worried about assassins tonight? Or when we leave the city?
Well, while people think that you're part of Batille's mercenary forces for the house war, until he actually declares you as such and the official proclamation that'll be given tomorrow at high sun. You shouldn't be touched
Good to know. So
unless
we need to get
somebody
out-
violates proper forms.
What about once we're out of the city? So I had a blood that put on me once, and the assassins followed us. Once we were still way out the city, they still carried it out.
They shouldn't have much of an interest in you if you're not declared as part of the assets of one of the warring houses. This is all hypothetical, of course, because rumors are that I'm sure you've heard that Salid is trying to carve his own empire out of the continent.
I had not heard that.
Yeah, that's the push for him to expand is to form his own empire. Lorne's Gate is apparently too small for him now.
This town ain't big enough for the 7 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Why are people taking notes when their characters are asleep?
Oh, I'm catching up on all the notes I didn't write from the beginning.
I don't think. Well, it seems like they already rule a large chunk of land around that they pull their slaves from that they could probably conquer easily, but I don't think they make it.
Well, they
much
don't
farther
really
than-
rule those areas. They just invade those areas and take just enough people to still allow them to grow.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of the smaller towns to the west of Egeria willingly joined the Empire as protectorates.
Yeah.
Which is also why Lawrence Gate is now seeking to push east. Because the Empire has taken some of their hunting grounds.
Do you
Cold.
think there'll be other towns or that will try to support Lawrence Gate's plea? Join that
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there were one or two, but I really can't think of any that would actively just join because they've pretty much stolen people from every small town around.
So that they truly stand no chance against the Empire once they get here.
The Empire's not going to come here. The Empire's going to let Lawrence Gate's forces march on Egeria.
So basically just going to sit and wait for them to be out in the open.
And then once that battle is done, the army will march west to here and install who they believe their chosen governor will be for the city.
Who is the ruler that we had dinner with? For the family guy.
Salon.
Salon. Do you think that will be Salon?
He's fairly young. I believe he just hit his 18th name day.
Yeah.
The Empire generally favors people who are well into their maturity for governance.
I was just asking because he's one of the few that have come across that have knowingly been willing to state their distaste for the slavery and
The Desert Elf Patriarch.
Ah. So he supports.
Freedom, he does.
Somewhere an eagle screeches.
That's surprising considering the magical barrier that
It
they
wasn't meant to sound like that.
had around all around their town, or around their section of town to just put small people to sleep right away.
It's an old spell linked to the tree in the center of their district. The only way to get rid of the spell is to get rid of the tree, and most elves, even those who've grown up in dry areas, have a fondness for trees.
So they're not the ones that put the spell there.
No, it was their forefathers. Well, the patriarch's one of the elves that participated in the ritual, but it was weeks after the destruction caused by the... He kind of chuckles. The little person war. Which, I don't know if you could call an alchemy accidental war, but...
Was there any other information that I should know or that you need from me?
I can safely see any of your belongings that are going to be left behind back to your guild hall, if you'd like. I don't know. Once you leave, I don't think it would be safe to leave
Even in there?
any of your property here.
Well, we have one set of metal armor, and we have Oglen's armor, which seems to be damaged somehow. Do you know anything about that? Do they have means of...
Can a blacksmith just fix the holes?
Well, it seems to be because of the Sunwalker emblem on them that any blacksmith here would refuse to work on it.
I don't... For all that I do know, I know even less about anything relating to magic. Give me a target and I could cleanly assassinate them, but give me a spell book and it looks like gibberish to me.
Oh, really? And Dimble uses an illusion to create like something like funny puppet thing.
And he just like looks at you briefly and then like holds his hand out and like a long sword appears in his hands made out of shadow. Okay, well I can do this. I mean, that's about the extent of my magic. Oh, and I can... And he, like, teleports from where he is to, like, the other side of the alley in the shadow. And I can do that, and there are a couple of other things, but, like, I can't throw balls of fire at people or anything.
Magic so you think you can dance.
Yeah. Weird flex, but okay.
You get the sense that he hasn't really talked to anybody properly in a really long time.
Mate, I think you should try to make some friends to help you out that you can talk to just to talk.
Well, I won't be here much longer. I'll be heading back.
That's
to
good.
the
I think it'll be
Empire.
good for you. Can you wait here and I'll go get the armor? and
He
bring it?
stabs you.
That'll be good for you.
Dimble lets You needed that.
He's like, no, I can get it from the inn, from the tavern. They'll never know what was taken.
Okay. I'll let my folk know that it's safe.
He hands you a bag. It's like a small coin purse.
Okay. What is this?
This should help you procure some of what you need to leave safely and quickly. Unfortunately, it probably isn't going to cover everything, but it should help. With at the very least, it should help you acquire at least basic mounts for the area you're going.
Oh, thank you. We definitely needed that. We were counting on making money in the arena, but our winnings was withheld from us.
Yes.
Is this our winnings? Or a large portion of it?
Some of it.
Well, thank you very much. Dimble gives it a jingle. How much is there?
You're going to have to open it and count it.
Okay. I'm not going to do that in front of him.
I was like, oh my god, is he going to sit
It's
there
so
and count?
How
Is
much
he gonna-
do I like you?
That's what I was. It's like, is Dimble going to like 1, 2... That's it?
Every once in a while, looking up like, oh yeah, it's still coming.
All right. Well, then I will going to go enjoy probably my last night's sleep in a regular bed.
So
for quite some time
I did
or
have an
something
odd
else.
dream last night.
Yes. What did you dream?
It was in the desert, and he's like seems super focused right now, and he like looks at you, and he like goes and stands right next to you, and then he lowers himself because, like I said, he's a human,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like on his knees, and he's next to you, and he holds his arm out Like it's like he's measuring. He's like, yeah, okay, this is so. I think I might have been you in my dream.
Okay.
And since you and your friends have been here, I've had a few dreams about you. I'm guessing you haven't reached the point in your career that you've started experiencing the dream walking.
I've had many dreams before, but not what you're describing.
But trust, man, it's really not. I don't know what they're called, but trust the bug-looking guys. Just trust them.
That's good to know.
Or well, don't like trust them and let them put you in a pod or something. But I don't know. It's just they want to take you somewhere.
Okay. So follow them and let them take us.
Yeah, but don't blame me if you die.
Take me anywhere but a pot.
Anywhere but a pot,
Dimble does
though.
give an audible laugh.
Very, very reassuring.
The dreams are. It's really hard to. Even after doing this for 40 years, it's not like a precise thing. It's just sometimes a feeling.
How old is this guy physically?
He visually looks like he might be in his mid-30s. Physically.
You've been doing this for 40 years. I wouldn't put you past a day past 28.
Oh, that's the touch of Alcar. That does that, or at least the touch of the magic that gives us our abilities.
So this aging doesn't.
Doesn't really slow it so much as slows the physical effects of it. Like I'm still gonna die around the time that I would actually die.
Oh, really?
I just won't really look
So you're
that age.
look 40 and be like
Maybe-
maybe inside and still die. Oh,
Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
It's like a scam, basically.
You know, if the Empire doesn't work out, Alcar can go into that, like, beautician stuff and sell some cream. It's like, Alcar's power!
Did you see anything else in the dream besides the bug guys?
Watch the worms.
Are they like big worms?
Like eat a house-sized worms.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
Alaskan bullworms?
Actually, if you'd like to know the inspiration, it's Frank Herbert's Dune.
Ah, yes. We must find the spice.
You already heard about it.
Oh, yes.
It's
Is
the
there
variety
any
of like
warning before they come up to watch out for?
It'll sound like a storm, but the sky will be clear unless there's actually a storm in the sky, in which case, I don't know.
could be anything.
Just an unfortunate coincidence.
Watch for the sandstorms though; they're pretty bad.
Okay.
I don't know if you know about the desert story or anything, but it used to be the site of
A big advanced civilization, and something went wrong, and they kind of imploded upon themselves, from what I hear.
well, they toyed with magic that they shouldn't toy with, and some gods and goddesses got together and
Smited them.
well tortured them first
Oh, really?
with their own magic. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Something about sucking the life force or the power from a god directly without their permission. And the god's not liking that.
Oh, we really like to know how to acquire this magic, please.
Yes,
That's-
one ancient magic, please. Such a goofball.
I could be getting the story wrong because, like I said, I don't really care about any magic other than the things I can do. But, usually stories are fairly far from what actually happened.
Sure. But they're usually based off of something.
Oh no, it was definitely leveled by some divine magic. If you make it to the center of the desert where their capital was, you'll see.
I heard it. No one's seen it in eons.
Well, I mean, archaeological expeditions go there regularly. They just don't always come back.
Oh, okay.
I think the Empire in the last 30 years maybe has sent 5 and only 1 has come back. And that expedition was led by a scholar named Evandal.
Oh, we're familiar with him. He was kind of obsessed about it when we met him.
Yeah, he believes the key to preventing some calamity lies there.
Yeah. We accidentally. A member of our
Oh my
guild
god, if you say he accidentally killed his nephew.
Whoops.
was tricked by a demon and killed his nephew.
How do you accidentally kill someone's nephew?
Well, he was
Someone
tricked
killing
by a
Brudall
demon
kids.
into doing it.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Demons, they just do it.
you guys are just all kinds of fun
Yeah,
and
he-
excitement.
Evandal's not quite on good terms with us at the moment. We don't have a problem with him, but he is definitely still furious with us with what happened.
He killed his nephew.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we did.
The person who did it, he immediately engulfed into flames. and
Wait,
killed.
when did this happen?
Oh, a few days ago? No, a week or so ago?
It would be like a month or so.
About a month ago?
Was this in a small town?
It
On
was.
the main road?
Yeah, the most.
Oh, I've seen that.
What's left of it? Yes.
Which isn't much.
No, unfortunately not.
Well, some of you may actually be wanted by law enforcement in that direction.
Well, that was all Evandal. He was trying to destroy us in the process.
But that's not what the people there said.
Well, perhaps not.
They straight lying.
Not really.
I seen it with my own eyes. This man come riding in on a goat and blowing up fireballs left and right, I tell you.
I saved it.
I seen it.
I saved it. I'm telling you. So he looks at Dimble and says, I'm sorry, it's really all I can help you with. I don't know much about anything further west.
No,
I know that after leaving the city, you'll be at the desert within 2 days.
Your information was most helpful. Thank you. Alright, I guess I'll go get a good night's sleep. Thanks again. Good night.
He nods and leaves. And Dimble goes to bed. Okay, we're gonna take our break now.
Break. Guys, we made it to break. We're not dead yet.
I'm really proud of myself.
Yeah.
I pulled that improv through.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, you guys.
I forgot that it was all improv. That's how good it was.
Never admit that it's wrong.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't have.
Hi, welcome back.
Hey.
Thank you.
I think I'm gonna spend $200 on good video editing software just to remove that every fucking week. Just to remove
Can
that.
you, instead of like completely removing it, save all of them in a different file so you can make like
String
a
'em
blooper
together.
thing of just him saying that for
Welcome back.
Compilation
Welcome
of
back.
Jeremy
Welcome back.
saying,
Welcome
"Hi,
back.
welcome back."
It
for
could be like a
4
vlog
years.
for the YouTube channel.
Hi, welcome back. Hi, welcome back. Hi, welcome back.
Do you have any
Super
inspiration?
into it, just be like,
Not anymore, you
back.
I'm at +3.
Take it all away.
Oh wait, no, that's not right. That's my initiative.
I'm at -3.
That's my initiative.
I have 5. I have 5 inspiration.
You don't have any now.
Can I give him my +2?
No, you don't even have that.
Those get converted into pirate points.
I love how
Oh,
Willis
yes.
Willis at this point, like he doesn't use his inspiration. He's just keeping score. I've gotten this much.
5 plus 2.
It's a conversion rate every
So I
time.
need percentile rolls from everyone again.
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 I'd like to trade my +2 into 1 pirate point.
To 1 5.
Conversion rate.
Alright,
We can do that.
I got one less.
I will erase
47.
my +2 if you give me a private pirate point.
44.
Well, you don't get the pirate point, but I get to add it to the other 4.
Well, that's what I mean. It gets added
To the pool.
What'd you
I
get?
swear, I'm like
Erasing the
rolling-
+2 pirate point.
That is-
You know there were 7 at one point.
Andrew.
yes.
Andrew.
Wait,
What'd you get?
67.
That's what I got too.
I got 35.
I got 47.
I mean, so far
I
I've
got
rolled for my
48.
percentile 67, 47, 67. So.
I'm in brackets. Turn into a pirate.
48.
Arr.
What did you roll, Will?
95.
Damn. You went from one end to the other.
47.
You went one lower?
Yep.
44. Major improvement.
Yeah, 35.
6 times.
Or you really couldn't do any worse than that.
Yep, it's all up from here.
97.
Unless you got a
Oh, nice.
another one.
67.
So close.
Richard's most improved roller.
So close.
I need
So what
2
is
more
this?
points.
So close.
So is this about our pirate points or something? Arg, maybe.
Yeah.
You have 7 of them now.
Yes!
You had like 9 or something, I
Oh,
believe.
damn it.
And I've been using them as you guys do stupid shit.
Alright, they're not gonna kill you for one pirate.
For one pirate point.
It's actually worked out really well. They weren't actually ever meant to be anything, but I've been using them to either boost the loot that you guys can get, or the money, or things like that.
Arg, getting extra booty!
Yeah.
So, you guys wake up around sunup. Laura knocks on your doors softly because you guys had asked her to wake you up at sunrise. Even if you didn't, you did.
I like it.
Gonna realize that the dagger's not in my hand and go straight over to Matteo.
Oh, I never actually stole it.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I was just telling that to Sano.
I didn't see her. That's what I assumed.
No, that's what I told him.
Okay.
But I didn't actually steal it.
Hey, Sano, brute soul your dagger.
So, she locks on the door, and you hear her from the outside say, breakfast is on the table.
Yay, thank you.
I get up, go downstairs.
Thank you, miss. Be downstairs shortly.
Now, Brudall, do you think I have like a little portion?
Well,
or
I
do you
mean,
think have an
I don't know what I'm looking at. Like, is it just like
So
a
everybody
table
goes
full-
downstairs, and you watch as Sano arranges some food on this plate.
I'd make
And it looks spectacular.
I'm gonna do it too.
I'm gonna go over with his dagger and place it into the food and be like, there you go, bud.
A
Ew.
little accent.
Oh.
Some sawdust.
It didn't really work out, but thanks for giving it to me.
And then I'm gonna try to prep my plate better.
Sano just looks at it and just is like, it was a nice looking dagger.
Now it's a kitchen knife.
Roll performance, a disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
Because now you're just being spiteful.
That's the point.
Yeah, but you're over trying, so now it's a disadvantage.
Performance 16.
I rolled for him and he got a nat 20, so which is why I rolled. I just felt it.
Thank you.
That was for even my panda point.
It was actually meant to be a joke, but it ended up being a nat 20. So everybody sits down to eat, and Laura goes and stands at the bar and, gives you your space, and Eric's behind the bar. And there are a couple of people running around. Otherwise, it never seems really all that busy in here to you guys. Like, you've been here at several points throughout the day. And it never really seems overly busy here.
Not many people want to travel to the desert, so probably not a lot of travelers.
I mean, the Silk Road was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Curious, but I don't want to be rude, so I'm not going to say anything.
Yes, inter-party PvP's allowed with Matteo.
Let's do it.
So, I met with my friends last night, guys. Well, with one friend, not multiple.
What was it? One body and multiple friends.
Yeah.
That Firewalker that promised to destroy the city. I don't think he's actually going to be allowed to come back and do that.
I thought they were called Sunwalkers.
Let's. He was a Firewalker, which I haven't heard before.
So, you, the three of you would know what a Firewalker was. They're just the magical spellcaster members of the Radiant Flame.
Well, they're the spellcasters of the Radiant Flame.
That's not confusing at all.
But evidently the Empire wants the town in one piece. They don't want it to Ashranen the city. He's probably not going to be able to come back. And the Empire already knows that the Lord's Gate's marching out, and they're just going to wait for them. They're going to let them exude their energy on the road, and they just wait and wipe out the army while they're out of the city, and then come back to the city.
I guess that makes sense. No city to conquer if there's no city.
Yeah, I certainly feel a little less of the onus on our own shoulders knowing that they're prepared for it.
it's believed that the Arabian conflict is the ones that's egging on Lawrence Gate, because they actually want to conquer Lawrence Gate themselves. They want the army out and to be wound down by the Akarian army, so they can themselves actually conquer it.
That makes sense. So after we eat some grub, we
And I got some information about the house war too. Unless we're publicly declared, we shouldn't worry too much. Even though some people believe that we already are, but we haven't been. As long as we're not publicly declared, we should be okay, and no one should stop us from leaving the city this morning.
So make sure we tell him that, hey, we're not involved. We did our part.
I'm sure he'll probably make us an offer, and that's the reason he wants us to come talk to him. But I don't want to be brought up in a house war in a city that's about to be conquered.
Yes.
And then it's also Salid. The reason he's pushing so much is that he actually wants to form his own empire. I think Lawrence Gate's not enough for him anymore. He wants more than that.
Well, soon he's not gonna have anything. Maybe a nice bed in jail, but other than that, not much.
We can certainly hope. No.
Oh, and I also got Dimble would have counted the coins once I go back to his room.
Can you RP? I can't remember what I named the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Oh,
I honestly can't remember what I called it.
I got some coins to help us with our expenses if he isn't able to provide us with our transportation.
Oh, how many?
Did we come in on horses, or did we walk in?
Most of you came in on horses.
We came in on horses, but we need desert. I keep saying horses, but desert mounts is what we really need.
Yeah, like
We're not going to take our horses into the desert to dry. We're going to have enough water for ourselves.
yeah, a camel would be nice.
But speaking of the desert, I was warned about some bug type stuff that we should trust. And even though he's not with us anymore, I had a similar dream of something about bug people when he looked into the well. Do you remember that, Ash?
Was that me
Oh
or
my
Radford?
god, how many people were here for that? That was so long.
Was that me or
I was.
Radford? Or
That was
Ash
right
or
after-
Radford that did that?
That was right after Slob died. That was Ash.
It was after.
It was
Oh,
Ash.
okay,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure it was
Yeah.
Ash. Radford was,
It was after the temple.
yeah.
That was in the place Slob died.
Yes, if I recall, weren't these bug folks the ones that we were meant to make diplomatic contacts with at some point with the bags of Rana that we were
No,
having?
that was the conflict.
Oh, I see.
But those are the ones that are trying to move pawns, use Lawrence Gate as a pawn. But the other people, they have something to show us, and we should trust them enough to let us show it to us, but not willingly let ourselves be put into pots, whatever that means. And that there's big worms in the desert
Oh,
that sound like big enough to sound like storms.
Oh. Well,
big worm never beat me up, so.
yeah. As long as it doesn't swallow you whole,
Yeah,
it's gonna be all right.
yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah, let's hope we can make our way where we need to go
Oh,
without having to run
I-
across any of them.
Also going a little bit closer, and he said, "And don't worry about your armor. It's going to get back to our guild hall safely."
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
This breakfast is very good.
Yeah, and I suppose we should eat up. There'll be a lot of trail rations in our future.
Well, they say you can go, what, like 2 weeks without food or something like that? Maybe 3? Not that you want to, not that it's ideal, but, you know, you could.
Can't say I've ever been to a desert myself. I don't know much about what we'll find.
Well, I've been to one. Or 2. You know.
A lot of dealing with sands on the beaches of islands, but never on the desert itself. I tell you, what I do know about sand, it gets in the most unopportune places.
I hate sand. Sand gets everywhere, or whatever Anakin said in Attack of the Clones.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that line is.
It's irritating and itchy and it gets everywhere.
Let's put that in
It
the
was
script.
George Lucas himself.
He wrote that and he said, yeah, that's a good line.
Yeah.
Come on, George.
Isn't that the same movie where it's like, from my perspective, the Jedi are evil?
No, that's the third one. Well, the episode 3.
Goddamn.
I mean, every hero is someone's villain, and
Yeah.
every villain is someone's hero.
Just find a more poetic way to say
trying
it.
to be the villain to my hero.
You're right in the script.
Because you someone's hero to me.
Dimble. With the outlook of this town, the city, looking bleak, where would we be keeping our mounts when we?
Oh, that was included in what he said, by the way.
Take
That he would see everything safely returned.
All of our possessions are going to get back safely.
Okay.
He's going to take care of it.
My dog.
Looking out for Ember, and I'll point at Thorin and say, "Goat friend."
So you're not taking Ember into the desert?
As much as I would
She'll
love,
be safe.
as much as I
if
would
you wanna
love to.
take her. No, I mean with you in the desert, she'll be safe. It's gonna cost you more of your water rations.
That's kind of where.
But
We've got nearly endless flasks.
Almost endless.
Now,
flies.
Ember, trust a man you've never met that hides in shadows and follow him back to town.
But don't worry, he's an NPC that we like.
I'm sure he has some magic that would convince Ember that he's a good guy.
He says,
You-
weedly weed.
Yes.
Do you fully trust this person?
You can roll if you'd like to roll.
I don't trust many people about many things. And the Shadowwalkers themselves are master themselves in finding out information and spreading lies. But when a Shadowwalker shares information with another Shadowwalker, that I trust that information to be true. And if he says he's going to get his stuff back safely, I believe him.
I've been away from Ember since I can remember.
No, it just surprised me that you're not going to take her into the desert.
I'd have to use all of Matteo's water just to feed her.
That's not coming out of my water. I don't know whose water you're smoking, but it ain't mine.
No, unfortunately, if I'm gonna really join you guys and be a world walker, I think I need to be respectful of everyone else here, and I can't ask that of you to watch a forest wolf be in a desert.
Well, if it helps, I'm a forest elf going in the desert.
That just means he's less likely to walk out.
Would you like me to escort you back as well?
I don't want you to be my escort.
Whoa. Alright, guys, it's only 9 a.m.
Ash, you're not a wolf. Alright.
Thank you.
This is while you're eating at the table. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try and change the subject. Yes, this sausage is very good.
Desert sausage, yummy.
Made from the best desert boar.
Wait, there's boars in the desert?
Tolora laughs at the counter, just like a hearty laugh, when you say it's desert boar.
You ain't never met a desert boar? Well, I guess you haven't been to a desert before. They're kind of rare, but, you know, occasionally you can find them.
From what I hear, the only bore in the desert is boredom from staring at all the sand.
Oh, I thought you were going to say boredom from my stories, but...
I'm sure we'll have plenty of that too.
Roasting himself?
Making our jobs easier.
Mm-hmm.
Leave that. Righto then?
So everyone got their stuff packed up and ready?
Yes.
No, I want to grab more rations.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I go to the counter.
It already happened. It
It
just,
already happened.
yeah, it just kind of happens.
Okay, I'm gonna stack.
You guys
up.
aren't meant to have to babysit your rations while you're in the city.
Okay, I'm back up to 10 rations.
Everybody needs to subtract from their coins. You need to subtract like 5 gold to account for all of your restocking expenses.
8 silver it is.
8
That's
silver.
literally all I have.
What if we don't?
Okay, well then collectively 40 gold needs to be subtracted.
Yeah.
I'm putting
I
in
don't
8 silver,
have
guys.
gold.
So I got my. That's 100% of my wealth. So I'm doing my part.
I took out my 5.
I have 2 gold left after.
Well, I mean,
the-
if you have
the
more than that, you should
loss.
also account for someone else.
Yeah, I don't have
I
any
have
money.
32.
I have 0 money.
Count for ashes.
Wait, do you have no money either?
He has
I
8
literally
silver.
God,
have
how
8
many of you
silver.
people don't have money?
I gave you my money. I
First,
gave you all
first,
my money.
the servants of Alcar don't actually care about wealth other than what they need to do their jobs and succeed. Even Dimble doesn't actually care that much anymore.
That makes one of us who does.
He knows the usefulness of it,
All right.
right?
Who
what I mean?
doesn't
Like,
have money?
he
Raise
knows
your
that
hand if
you
you
need
have
to be
0
careful of
money.
it, but
I have
2
0
gold
money
over
now
there.
that
You
I
have how
donated
much?
all
I
of my
have 2
money.
gold.
Okay, so all right, so I took away 5.
Yep.
So 3.
Don't. Seriously, who needs cover?
I have 8 silver.
3.
Oglen's
I bet 250
How
of
much
it.
was it?
We straight got robbed by these people.
5 each.
So 15.
Yes, we did.
Dimble's gonna cover with the guild funds he has.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dimble still has like 800 gold or something.
Around that, close to it.
Guild funds.
I mean, it's not.
His.
He shouldn't be
And
advertising
102.
it because we have people who are
And
very
100
bad at
to
saving
bet.
gold.
And then actually 50 for the other team.
Well,
The
I
save
invested
that
mine
too,
and got a
actually,
0%
did,
return.
Cut your
We'll see.
damn bow.
Adventure's not over yet.
Sure.
Remember, one man's archaeological find is one man's treasure. So
What did I say?
The same.
You were paid at one point, so you must have spent it all.
Matteo's actually been pretty chill on helping people who need gold. Surprisingly,
I know, right?
Maybe that's why he's got to be such a miser. He's always covering our asses.
Yeah,
It's like,
Every time I make a gold, I have to give it away to
I
you
have to
guys.
save it for all these other people.
Gold
He's like
doesn't matter.
both of the
so
Scrooges at
archaeological
once.
finds
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
See,
So-
I'm not paying for one man's salary. I'm
Talura
paying for
comes around.
5.
Talura comes around and clears the empty plates and asks everybody if they'd like any more.
Oh no, that's more than enough. Thank you for your hospitality.
Yeah. I'm good.
Yes, I would like some more.
And Eric walks around and he kind of looks very sheepish. And he looks, he's like, I need to apologize. Last night, while we were all sleeping, your belongings went missing out of the locker room.
What? The locker room belongings went missing. I demand a refund that we paid for them to be stored.
Is that kind of lying?
Did you pay anything?
Yeah.
We paid for storage fees.
Wait.
I thought that she said it was.
I want to speak to the manager.
Yeah.
That's kind of not okay. I think you would be
Kinda not
punished
okay.
for that.
What if I say?
It's more of a putting on a show, being like, acting like he's surprised.
Okay.
For the jest.
Okay, so it's a performance.
Yeah.
So roll performance. Because Alcar was so going to punish you just then.
Wait a minute.
Alcar reached out.
This guy's on our team. Don't take his money.
26.
Okay. Eric's like, I'm so sorry. We don't really have the money to cover replacement of what you stored, but we can give you free lodgings anytime you come through here.
Sounds like a fair trade.
Wait, what was all that was lost?
2 suits armor.
Yeah.
Armor's like $5,000 each.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Minimum.
Including the Sunwalker armor, which is you can't really buy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's like priceless artifacts. Well, there's
3
a
nights
price
at
on
an
it.
inn.
Matteo has definitely seen suits of full plate armor at much higher prices.
Yeah.
Well,
Back in his prime, he
Like
could
that's
afford
like
that.
5,000 gold is like minimum functional full plate. Like
Yeah.
it's not even
The good stuff.
embellished or decorated or enchanted.
Yeah.
I tell you what, free lodging and a bottle of wine for each of us for the road to go, and we'll call it even.
I don't actually have any wine left.
We're alcoholics.
Some of you drink a lot.
Some of you drink a lot.
Scouts Day probably
It could be anyone.
went through your stash.
I'm gonna down the last bit of ale in my.
Well, a
growler.
mug of ale for the road.
It's like that Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other. Us trying to find the people that drink all the like alcohol.
Alcoholic! Why are you pointing at me? He nods and, well, I can give you I can give you a large flask of it, but it's gonna be like 30 pounds.
I just mean literally a mug of ale right now.
Oh,
For the
well,
road.
I wasn't charging you for what you were having now anyway.
And store credit.
And darn right.
Delora like chuckles. Delora chuckles behind him, and she's like, "That's because he lost your stuff." And he just like, you can see just the irritated like look over his shoulders. And they both go and they bring you your mugs of ale. And it is actually breakfast ale.
Yes, I say.
Like, I don't know if you guys know what
breakfast
breakfast ale is,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's literal just breakfast ale.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same kick alcohol wise as like other ales.
2% full of calories.
All right, mates.
Yeah.
To parched adventures ahead.
Cheers.
Did you really just make a slurping sound on demand? Damn,
Immersion.
it really was.
Jeremy busts out his metal straw for the morning ale. Oh, and there it goes, rolling down the streets.
So, you guys finish. You sit there for a little longer, and you finish. You know, you were told to meet him in the morning, and Dimble and Truegar, for sure, have been around enough nobles to know that in the morning means like mid-morning for most people.
They get to sleep in because they're rich.
It doesn't actually mean up with the sun like it does for the peasants.
But someone as ambitious as him may get up that early.
Well, I think that's gonna. By the time
Still
we
a teenager.
walk to where his villa is, it'll probably be close to mid-morning.
Yeah, we do have to do a little bit of trekking.
Yeah.
Almost
If-
before we left.
We need to
I
stop
would
at a
have
store
wanted
along
to
the
get
way.
my growler filled with
Does
water
anyone-
instead of ale.
Need anything else?
I didn't know that.
Provision
Okay,
wise,
no charge.
this be our last time to stock up on anything
Not that you have any coin anywhere.
for quite a while, most likely. Does anyone need anything?
I think
Do we need to make any extra stops along the way in any shops?
You know what the great thing about like a normal size ration is? I can get like 2 uses out of that.
It's not a normal size ration. It's a halfling size
Like half
ration.
baby ration.
It's literally how the book words rations. Is that it's species specific
Happy Meal.
or
Yeah.
race specific size.
Damn.
Because if you were carrying around a human sized ration, it would be gigantic.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yes, my full daily.
I mean, it'd probably be right for a halfling, but if you play stereotypical, let's have 5 breakfasts halfling, but
Yeah.
It's still a day's worth of ration for you.
It's just very big.
And I take the silence as a no that we don't need to stop anywhere.
That's correct.
Yeah, I think we're.
I say we
we're
do
all
Still
set.
Express.
they don't have any money. I think everybody's poor.
Yeah, it's
Or
not
they would
my
absolutely
fault.
be stopping places. By the
Yes.
way, that includes restocking up to 60 arrows, that 5 gold.
Oh, all right.
Wait, how many did you have?
26.
Okay, no, it gets you 40. Sorry.
60 it is.
I didn't realize you were.
No,
60 it is.
Great compromise.
I didn't realize. Are you collecting half of your ammunition after every fight?
I haven't been able to the last 2 fights.
Why?
You didn't
Because
know.
we kind of got ushered out of the championship.
Oh, okay.
I
I
lost
thought you meant before that. Okay. Oh well, they would have let you restock from their supplies, so you would pay back up to 60 anyway.
Yes, I knew if I just said so 60, I would get it.
40.
50,
40.
45.
Sorry, 40 is the best I can do.
60 is the least you can do.
20.
For
Damn, he loses
20
6
more arrows than I already have.
I mean, if you have the carrying capacity, you can.
Oh,
actually-
I wrote it in pen on accident. I just have 60.
I have paper at home. I can bring you a new character sheet.
Bring you a new character.
Why haven't you
Actually, I think we have
enchanted
character
your,
sheets in there.
We probably do.
Why haven't you enchanted your bow with infinity, bro?
Sweet
Sweet
all 6
quiver.
stones and he doesn't have all 6 stones.
Pebbles. He needs all 6 pebbles
The infinity
to
rock.
remain distinct enough from the actual trademark.
Yeah. I like
Pebbles. Oh man, is there going to be an infinity pebbles in
the-
my
the-
game
the-
now?
it. Eternity.
The forever
Pebbles.
gems.
Unending.
The forever
Yeah,
pebbles.
the forever.
Forever gems.
The timeless stones.
Yes.
The lucky rocks.
Oh no.
Does anyone know exactly where we're going? Or even what district he's in?
Not a clue.
Time to show off my big dick, guys. I cast locate creature on.
It's funny, the door
someone.
knocks. Somebody walks in.
Dang it.
Your presence is requested.
I was so ready.
and it's like
I already cast the spell.
a handler. You don't locate him.
He's probably protected by divination
What
magic.
a
He's in the house.
fail.
Yeah.
Guess it's small dick energy from here on out.
Just like you're used to.
You would know because you've seen it, Justin.
Unfortunately, because you whip it out every chance you get.
Well, if you didn't have such a happy look on your face, maybe I'd stop.
That's
That's not a happy look. That's a laugh.
Why'd you call it a pistol shrimp then?
It's not really a laugh. It's more like he's aghast at how little it is.
Oh, so you've seen him when he does it too?
Oh no.
That's a penis.
I didn't know you watched while he looked.
What can I say? I like watching.
Okay, I'm done. I feel demeaned.
I
I feel like
feel
I've
so
lowered
mean.
myself to a disgusting level.
I mean, you can't really lower yourself any more than walking up to a dude and said, "Hey, you look good naked." Pretty much as low as you can go in character. Hey, trying to cause a distraction. You look good naked.
But
So
It was more artistic than that.
it was.
the guy looks around and he you know, his eyes lock on Oglen and he walks over and it's like a slight bow at the waist. It's not like a full bow. And he says, "I've been sent to escort you to my master's villa.
All right, I think
Are
we're
you
ready.
Are you ready to depart?"
I believe so.
We're ready.
Any reason why we shouldn't leave? All right, and we finish whatever beer that we've been given for our breakfast deal
Okay.
and make our way out.
He leads you, and you walk outside, and you actually notice that he didn't come alone. He has maybe 20 or 30 guards with him, and they are all wearing the sigil of the Bitzel family, the cart with the crates in it, or the wagon with the crates in it, and they take up position around you guys, and they kind of clear the street as they begin walking, and they head west down the main road.
Okay.
Because you know you guys came in from the opposite direction into the city. And the walk's pretty leisurely, and nobody's making small talk. Everyone can roll perception though.
Hand of dice. Oh.
10.
23.
21?
Anybody who rolled 15 or higher?
I got a 15 exactly.
Super excited. Ben. You okay?
I thought I was gonna fail, so I rolled a 4.
So anybody who rolled a 15 or higher, you notice that the guards that are accompanying you seem especially on edge.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Who can use magic?
Power word rapier.
It's just the three of you. You would
But
be
it's
familiar enough with it
Just the
because of the spells you learned as a Sunwalker. Actually, better. Who has proficiency in Arcana?
Not I.
No one. Okay, then never mind.
We have no pure casters here.
Yeah, Thorin's not here. I think he's the only one. I didn't realize. Okay. So you're escorted for about 45 minutes. You walk, and it's not a leisure walk. Like it's a walk brisk enough that, like, normal walking speed for you is 25. You have more.
I have 35.
25.
25.
25. That for Oglen and Matteo, that they're actually working to keep up,
Hey, Brudall,
to keep pace.
you're gonna have to carry me, man. It's hard to keep up.
That's nice.
Like at this point, they're like doing that half walk run thing where they're like jogging every few seconds.
My
Yeah.
little halfling legs.
Is the reason we're in such a hurry?
The less time that we spend on the streets, the better.
No, but because of the Family Feud thing.
Because there are people who want to see all of you dead.
Us specifically?
You specifically.
Oh,
Well, I hope we
seems
don't.
fast. No matter where we go.
I believe it's to preempt the possibility that you'll fight with my lord.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Which is odd. It's a high form of praise that they would go out of their way to attempt to assassinate you before the war is actually official.
I feel so honored.
And when he says it, it genuinely looks like he's like, yeah, no, this is like,
Yeah.
we should be proud.
Yep.
We're hated.
Guys, we made it.
People don't like you.
We're so famous, we're infamous.
Yes. I like
We are
it.
the Jake Pauls of Lawrencegate.
Chase Paulers, rise up.
Smack yourself. Hard. Like,
Too bad there's no Sam here to smack him.
Oh no.
Though he'd need to roll on the team.
damn.
He just knew how to make it sound hard.
I know he didn't hit himself hard, but it sounded hard.
It was a kiss.
He rolled that performance roll. It at least sounded like somebody was a little upset with him. So, after like 45 minutes, you guys get to where you're going, and it's a very nice villa, and it's actually just outside of Lorne's Gate.
Okay.
It's still part of Lorne's Gate, but you leave the western gate to go to it. And it's fairly large. It's a fairly expansive area. And based on what you see, it looks like it may rival the palace grounds in terms of size.
Okay.
And you walk in, and immediately inside you see stables on both sides. And one side is just like the more mundane animals, horses, some camels. But on the right, you can all roll perception.
Is there a battle lizard?
That one.
Oh no.
Ooh, widdly wee.
Well, I have it on
Yeah,
one roll.
yeah.
Oh, now I gotta decide.
I don't think it's worth
Nah,
using
you've
one
already
for.
used it.
Well, you get
Yeah,
to
you
reroll.
get to re-roll it one.
Roll
He
the
gets
board.
so excited because he gets to use it.
I
that he
never
just
get to
doesn't-
use it.
He doesn't think about whether he should or not.
So he
I
We
get
don't
it
know
back
what
in
we're
like
doing
6 seconds.
today. The day's just starting.
That one. Yay.
What? Oh. 18.
Okay. Anybody who rolled higher than a 14,
Worth it.
Yeah.
13, I'm sorry, 13. Had to consider the size and the shininess. Yeah, 13. You notice that on the right stable, in the back, there are actually some griffins that look to be dressed in battle plate.
Wait, so you're saying the stables do have a back room?
Where they keep
You said the stables
In the back of the stables, not in the back room.
Well, they're both
Oh,
the back of
yes.
the stables.
But it's not a separate room.
I just want to hear you tell me I'm right. There is a back room.
There's not.
Put the quest on hold. We're gonna build walls and a roof on this back part of the stable.
I feel like Ash is gonna start specializing in carpentry so he can go in. He's gonna make it his character's life fucking goal to build back rooms on every
On all
fucking
the
stable.
See, they were here all along.
Free of charge too.
Why retire when I can just build all the stables with
What
back
happened to
rooms?
that? What happened to that elf that ran around with you guys? Oh, he retired from adventuring.
He's
What?
busy.
He was so good at it. Yeah, he took out carpentry. He's going around the world and building back rooms on
And
stables.
boats to prove I know what a boat is.
He still hasn't figured that one out.
It looks like there are around 20 to 25
Battle griffins?
war griffins.
Oh my god, I hope we get to ride those.
Those things ain't cheap.
No, neither are our services.
No, in my world, like the ones that you're looking at are worth roughly 500,000 gold each.
Oh my gosh.
What? You know how many armor we could buy with that?
How many armor?
Yeah.
How many? At least
That's
one.
at least one
At
armor.
least one armor.
One man's armored griffin is one man's armored.
Yeah, one man's armored griffin is also one man's treasure.
Wow.
2 armored griffins
That's a
equals
good
1
gold
armor
right there.
in the boat.
That's a
Some
lot
of
gold.
some of you, Truegar actually especially, since he served as a military commander for a small kingdom, would know that collectively, all 25 of them are probably worth most small city-state or kingdoms, yearly income. And that the upkeep and the training alone would bankrupt many actual nobles on a war griffin.
They cost a fortune to feed.
So you walk further in, and you already walked 45 minutes, and after another 10 or 15 minutes walking through the grounds, you get to the villa, and it's surprisingly modest compared to everything else you've seen on the grounds. It's still ostentatious, but you're taken inside, and Salon's already sitting in like the main area, in like the main entryway, just waiting. And he stands and he says, "Ah, welcome. I'd call you friends, but I don't know that we're actually there yet."
Thank you for having us.
What's good, G? A G is the good word, the human word for good friend.
This guy's a human.
I know.
I know.
Perhaps somewhere else, but certainly not here.
Oh yeah, that's in like where he's from.
Yeah, wherever that is.
Yeah, I actually
Cold
don't
places.
know.
The place where you eat your mother. He says, I trust you slept well and you weren't accosted on your way here.
Thanks to your retinue, we made it here safely.
Well, it's good to know they're at least doing what they're paid to do. So you do notice servants running around, cleaning things and doing things. Anyone who is interested can roll perception.
Might as well.
Who's interested in seeing if they're wearing collars
Oh, I bet they're not. I would bet.
can roll perception.
Oh,
Me too.
17.
20.
13.
Yeah, anybody who rolled a 10 or higher, they're not wearing collars. No one is wearing collar. Everybody is at least decently dressed here. You know, there's nobody running around in burlap sacks. You know, the basic servant is running around in like basic linen, but it still looks pretty nice. Everybody seems really busy, running around, scampering about, doing things. And he looks at you and says, "So, I know I invited you here. I did have ulterior motives. A house war was officially declared yesterday, and today all of the forms are to be published to the populace, so they know, for their own safety, to stay away from properties belonging to either family. And I have to declare all of my fighting assets. And I was wondering if you'd be interested in being among those."
I have a question.
Yes?
What's in it for us? What do we get out of this? I think is one of the important questions about this.
Ah, well. If you'd follow me, and he starts leaving the villa.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You follow? Everybody following?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as soon as he leaves the door, you notice that a group of guards descends upon the group, and they escort you. And you notice there are at least 3 spellcasters in with his personal guard. And he leads you back to the stables, and he says, "Well, if you don't wish to be involved, then I'll set each of you up with a mount as minimally necessary to get you through the desert and back. But if you join with me and you see the house feud to its conclusion, I will gift each of you a griffin."
Does Matteo know how much one of these things is worth?
Matteo has seen one in his entire life, and it belonged to perhaps the most wealthy person he ever knew.
So, you know what they say, guys.
Before you say yes or no, though, know that, and this is also me, the DM, telling you this, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm always upfront with you guys about the mortality rate.
Yeah.
It is possible that you'll die, and House Feud law says that if you die, you cannot be resurrected via magical means. It's just illegal. Assets lost in a house war are lost permanently.
What about going to another plane and just picking them up physically? No.
Yeah, like a rescue mission.
The bodies were all burned in the accounting at the end of the war.
That would definitely stop things. Okay.
Well, that being the count, you can even revive someone back. A griffin doesn't do much good to somebody who's dead. Besides, I don't even think we could afford to feed one of these for a year.
Oh, I would fund that. I would fund the maintenance and upkeep of each of your mounts. Would you like to meet them
So
For-
we get
for
a
how long?
griffin grunt.
for the duration of their lives?
How long do these things live?
Longer than most of us.
Yeah, probably.
My father's griffin is still alive.
It's a lot of fathers.
I believe he just hit 800 years.
Gosh, this thing will last. I could pass this down to my children.
Well, yes and no. I say that you'll get a griffin, but if you meet them and they choose to not serve you, then I can't force them to do it. It must be a willing bond.
Yeah, I guess that's true, yeah.
That's what makes them such fierce mounts.
Well, I'm out, but seeing as this is a mercenary group, if any of you want an out to get your own personal griffin, I'm not going to hold it against you.
Yeah.
It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
I look at my like rapier. I'm like, yeah.
Would you like to meet them before making decisions?
No, because
Because
I
it's
hope it's
possible
much harder to give back once you've looked it in the eye. And imagine a griffin will be much harder.
It's just a big tough.
He laughs. He genuinely laughs.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I might need a little bit of an upgrade before, I'd have to sign into something like this.
Oh, I could sweeten the pot if you'd like.
Maybe.
At least some of you are a very formidable fighting force. It would be worth your weight in platinum, or diamonds, or rubies.
Given this house ward, how long do you expect it to last for? How long would you use service?
Well, it could last hours or it could last years. It just depends on how it's fought. I'm a more direct individual compared to many of the... And as he says the word patriarch, he kind of chuckles. Like it's still the ridiculous sounding thing for somebody so young to be called a patriarch.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, as the patriarch, I could decide the cadence of the house feud, and I don't have time for it to take forever.
No, let's do it. One question about the griffin. When we die of old age, do the griffins come back to you?
No, they'll be yours, your family's, as long as they treat it with respect and courtesy. It is a sentient creature. It does communicate and is intelligent.
I just don't know if my lineage would be able to afford the food. I don't know how long
My
the food
house would pay for it indefinitely
in perpetuity until the griffin expires of old
until
age
the
themselves.
griffin itself passes away or returns.
I have no doubt that you would be rewarding us for this. But my question now stands about honor. What do you plan to do if you win this family feud?
Do you really wish to know, or
I do.
I would start with purging slavery from our city. One being shouldn't own another.
I agree.
But that you just gifted us griffins.
Not yet.
I said that it has to choose to serve you. And if it chooses to serve you, it'll go with you.
But
I'll pay for its upkeep.
Don't you own them now?
They've chosen to serve my family.
Payment, food, care, lodging. I've seen and heard of tales of griffins not liking their masters anymore and just leaving.
We've had 3 in the last 10 years decide that they were done and leave.
Them masters trying to make this hypocritical. Masters.
Master does not intone
You
or
own.
presume ownership.
Yeah,
it is
but
nothing more than
it
a
has
title.
the
You
historical
pedantic piece of
connotation.
shit, shut the fuck up.
Master in this case refers to the fact that if the griffin has bonded with you and you tell the griffin to do something, the griffin will follow you even if it means death.
Less of like a boss, but more of like a bond,
I would like to follow up with Brew's inquiry. I am finished asking questions about the griffins for now. You do not know. Nobody
He slowly
knows the
starts walking into the stable with the griffins.
Mateo's
Sano
definitely
is-
following.
length. Would you eliminate the council hierarchical structure if you are the winner of this particular house war and take ownership of this town?
I wouldn't want to rule the city if that's what you're asking. But I would put it to the council to make choices that benefit all Lorenians and not just the wealthy ones.
Fair enough.
There's nothing necessarily wrong with the system of government we have.
Just
But-
laws and-
How we treat our citizens is or our non-citizens is a problem. People shouldn't be penalized for their height,
Yeah.
except for people like him.
Well, that's not my height. That's just my personality.
Yes, I know.
Penalized for his
All night last night, it was your personality.
Yeah.
By the way, did we accomplish what you wanted us to last night?
Well, I left in a house war, so yes.
Didn't know if there's
It's
anything
much
else you wanted.
easier to remove someone from power if they declare the war on you.
Who has declared war on you? Was it Salih?
The ruler of the city.
So what's our odds looking like against these
Salih
guys?
himself, then.
Do you are we likely to win if you side with me? Yes. Am I likely to win if you choose to leave? Yes.
Fair enough.
It would just be
At the very least, I have griffins that could just decimate his air forces.
They seem like formidable foes who are also very expensive and very nice. And I would very much like to have one. But no agreements yet.
Matteo is just like walking around drooling. Have you ever seen a dog that smells really good food? And like it's like inches from its face, but it won't touch it because it'll get in trouble. That's Matteo right now. So, he keeps walking and he gets, you guys get closer to the griffins. And at this point, you're like 30, 40 feet from the griffins. And he looks at Brudall and at Truegar and he says, there are a lot of things that need to change, but a balance must be struck where too much doesn't change at once. Because if too much changes at once, then even those who don't like what's going on will retreat into the fear of change. Even slaves, sometimes when freed, have a crisis because they feel that they've lost the only thing they knew, and they now have no stability to look forward to.
From what I've seen and what you've said, I know with your conviction, honor, and money, you're a man I can respect.
I
But
don't actually need your respect, I just need you to fight.
that being said, I know some of the others here may feel the same as me, some may not. There are other things in this world that need our attention, and I feel you could do this without me. So I decline. Grudgingly. Griffin's sound nice.
I mean, that's like half
So
a million gold.
There's my phone right there.
Yeah. I suppose if we were to have griffins, they'd allow us transport into where we're going a little faster.
Yeah.
It's one thing to consider.
I mean,
A little fast?
a lot of
Like
faster.
twice as fast.
But
yeah, depending on how fast we get
Yeah,
through
we
this war.
that's assuming that we can wrap things up here
Well,
with haste.
I'm thinking this is an all or nothing kind of thing.
Oh, so many.
If everybody decides to do this, then fuck, I will do it.
I just rolled 25 d20s and rolled 17 nat 20s.
Wow.
Wow.
Trying to work as a
They're all our best fucking friends ever. They say, you know what? We're gonna leave this guy right now and follow you.
Oh no, that's not what that roll is for. You think I'd give you a fucking griffin like that?
Nat 20 Griffin.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
First of all, Matteo would probably be eaten by a griffin instantly because he would look at it and be like, "Oh, that's mine now."
Imagine the drive-by of all of a sudden Griffin's just taking out this wizard in the desert.
Yeah.
Job done.
I'm just throwing daggers.
So, you walk through, and he looks at Brudall and says, "I understand, and I respect your decision. And as I said, I'll honor my agreement initially. At the bare minimum, you'll get a camel or a desert courser to take into the desert and to bring back to my stables."
I appreciate that.
I'd like to meet one of these griffins. I am impressed by your cause and agree with the changes that you would like to make.
Okay. Well, it's really easy. You don't get to meet them so much as they meet you if they're interested. And he like steps aside and he points to like the center of this. It's like kind of like a Roman villa style, where there's like open courtyards, like every 50 feet or so. In the stable, there are stalls and there's like a big open area. Almost like this was designed specifically. This part at least was designed specifically for creatures that could fly. And he says they'll just walk to the middle of the flight area, and if some are interested, they will approach. I'm gonna warn you now. If you've never interacted with them, they are the epitome of what noble means. Don't disrespect them. Don't touch them unless they make it clear that they are allowing you to touch them. Don't reach for their faces unless they attempt that. And a hint: if one does come within a few feet of you, bow to it. Otherwise, I can't really tell you any more than treat it with respect. Otherwise, it'll eat you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Thank you for the tips.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
I think my father went through 9 Griffin Masters because they just couldn't understand the respect part.
Makes sense.
You know, you shouldn't treat any animal like it's just a beast, but
As a living thing. You know?
especially when it can eat you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's usually a good idea.
You upset me, Matteo.
What did I do this time?
So does Truegar walk into the...
Walk into the center.
Okay.
Look around. Hands to my side. Look around to the different griffins and see.
So
if they notice me.
as Truegar's standing there, what is he feeling as he's looking at these?
All at the majesty of the fact that he's never seen a griffin, but he knows about them. I will. The look on my face is that of seeing a well-regarded warhorse.
They're not gonna like you. Comparing them to horses. I know what you mean. That same sense of awe is when you see a...
Unless they can read my mind. But I have Kelron Fells on me, so they cannot read my mind.
So they cannot.
You don't have it equipped in your hands, though.
Oh, that was just on like my.
No, it's gonna be in your hands. You have to be wielding it. Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down.
I need to fix the wording of that if it doesn't already say that.
While I'm wielding this weapon, I'm gonna underline the word wielding.
Wielding.
Just reaching over your shoulder, like touching it. I'm wielding it. I'm wielding it. They can't read my thoughts.
But either way, yes.
So roll me, even if you don't have proficiency or any bonuses, roll me animal handling.
Okay. That will be a modified 13. I have +5 to animal handling.
So is anybody paying attention to this, or is anybody still trying to talk to the
I'd be
kid?
watching.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Dimble waited outside of the stables, how much would he be able to see of this?
None.
That's where he is.
Well, the entryway of the stable itself, like the actual main like hallway, is pretty wide. So you definitely see Truegar like walk into the open area, but at that point you wouldn't be able to see anything else.
Mm.
So would Dimble like to go see what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. So some of you hear like a shuffling sound, and you turn to see Dimble kind of like shuffle walking, like he's doing that walk where he doesn't want to seem like he's overly interested, right? What are you doing?
Hands in pockets, whistling.
Yeah. And he gets up there, and you get to the group as Truegar's reaching the center. Do you say anything before we go into that? Okay. We start at 13?
Yes, modified 13.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom.
Our griffin's name is Lucky.
No, his griffin's name is going to be GFC. Get fucked, cunt. Why did it just do that? Okay, so... So you guys watch as a couple of the griffins kind of... they kind of come out of their little stall areas and they like skirt the edge and they walk and a few of them return back to their stalls after a second of like inspecting Truegar from a distance. What is Truegar wearing armor wise? Is it studded leather?
It's the studded leather.
Okay. And three of them, they kind of mosey further into the arena and they kind of circle Truegar almost like a cat circling prey. How does Truegar react to them? He definitely feels like he's not safe right now.
Still hands at side, observing each one that comes within my periphery, and every time one like looks me like up and down or directly in my face, I'll slightly cock my head and just give a little half smile.
Okay.
A respectful.
Yep. I'm respectful. Y'all can keep fucking killing me right now. We all know it. We all know it.
I mean, there's nothing else you want to do?
How close are they? Like 50
I mean, they're like within striking distance.
Oh, that close.
Oh no!
Well, once they are within what I feel is an appropriate bowing distance, let's say 10, 15 feet, then I will put my...
I mean, they're still circle, like they're making a circle, like walking a circle around you, like they're stalking prey.
The first one that,
And they're definitely within striking distance.
the first one that became within striking distance, 1 foot slightly in front of the other one, and I give a deep bow from the waist.
Okay. And do you do that for all of them?
I
Or
hold it.
just the first one?
So imagine that this is me.
So you do it when the first one gets there, and then you hold it.
Until the last one, until they've completed the circle.
Okay. Ooh, roll performance at advantage.
So once the circle's around me, is
Delicate dance.
that will be, thank you for advantage. Come on, that's going to be mod 15.
Okay. So one of them it claws the ground with its front talon and walks back to its stall. The other two keep circling though, and they're now like within arm's reach of you. Like they've moved it with arm's reach, but they're still kind of circling you. It's just very slow. What do you do?
Have they made any other motions? Like, are they smelling the air? Are they striking at the ground or scratching at the ground as they circle me?
Nope, they're just walking around you.
I've already bowed. So I've gotten up from my bow. I will no longer have my hands at my sides with the inside of my palm towards my jeans. I will now put my shoulders back and have my hands still at my sides but outwards like this.
Roll animal handling.
Let's hope it's better this time. Much better this time. Mod 16.
Okay. So, as you guys watch, these circle him, and one leaves, and the other two get very close, like uncomfortably close from where you are. Do you guys do or say anything?
The what kind of does that?
Yeah. They're close to us or closer to him?
To him, like they're like he could reach out and touch them right now. They're that close.
They're not doing any kind of movements with their own heads or
They're
change.
you've
your
seen
pace.
okay, so perfectly for Brudall, right? Brudall has seen Ember stalk and eat.
Yeah.
And that's what it seems like they're doing right now. Or actually, at this point, it's almost like they're toying with their prey, is what it seems like to Brudall.
I'm in a very calm voice say, "It may be time to respectfully exit their domain. Now."
Is that what you say? Okay. Is Truegar... Because this is a highly stressful situation, because Truegar is fully cognizant of the danger that he is actually in. If he even slightly messes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a fully cognizant situation. Is Truegar so focused on what's immediately in front of him that he would kind of shut everything off outside of this little bubble?
No, he would not, because he has been in stressful battle situations before, and he knows that lack of situational awareness is what gets men killed.
Okay.
So he hears, I would like to, if you allow me, hear what Brew has said and disregard.
Okay. No, that's why I was asking you. Like, it was a choice. Did Truegar want to hear it, or did he?
I heard it, but I will continue to disregard.
Does he give any outward reactions to having heard it that would be visible to somebody looking at his face?
I assume that my back is to them, the group, so I will just slowly turn my head and go, and then continue back with my face forward. Continue to look at the griffins. While I feel it's safe to do so, perhaps when they have gotten maybe a little bit closer or they look restless, as my hands are both out to the side, I will do a slight bow forward and when the hands up forward like this. While I'm slightly bowed forward, my head down.
Okay, so this will be a couple of rolls, okay?
Okay.
So they both make another circle while he's like that, and you watch one kind of roll perception. Everybody else, roll perception. I'm guessing that every one of your characters is so into this that you were ignoring almost everything else, so you can actually make the rolls at advantage.
Okay. And Oglen wants to be within 30 feet of Truegar, if possible.
It's not really possible unless he enters the fight area.
Anything.
It's like 50 feet across.
Okay, he won't do that.
Yeah, it's like 50, 60, maybe 70 feet from wall to wall in the giant open area.
Damn, alright. Gotta be ready to run in there then. 21 on the perception.
Okay. Anybody roll less than like a 15?
I got A15.
A15? Okay, so everybody's good. So you watch as one of the griffins, while Truegar is like kind of looking down at the ground, it like steps back a couple of steps when it gets in front of him. And you don't really know, but it kind of looks like it bowed a little bit and then left and went back to its little area. And there's still one griffin that's kind of stalking around Truegar. And it makes another circle, and right as it's getting around to the front of him, you watch as it lunges towards his face with its beak. And its beak is open. Does Truegar react? Actually, I'm not going to let Will, the player, make that decision. I'm going to let the dice decide if Truegar reacts. Roll insight at advantage.
May I please spend an inspiration to get triple advantage?
No.
Okay.
But you could spend it. You could spend inspiration to re-roll if you don't like the roll.
Insight. So that is going to be a modified 18.
Okay. Would you like to re-roll?
I
I guess you actually can't since you told me the roll.
That's true. My choice is to not react, but I don't know if that die was high enough to not react.
It was. You just needed a 15. Try to keep it fair.
Like that.
So you guys watch as this griffin like walks around, and it's like inches away as it just snaps towards his face. You are going to take 1 piercing damage though, because its beak does cut you across the face.
I'll add it to my many scars.
Yes.
And Truegar doesn't react in the way that you feel. Do you guys want to do anything before we move to the next scene?
Holy shit.
Brood, like talking to himself, but at a low voice because he's very intently watching, is just gonna say, "The test again."
Let's fight.
Yeah. There you go.
Godzilla reference. Right?
So the griffin continues walking around, and at this point, even though it doesn't feel like it, it's been like 30 minutes that this has been going on. It's been a very, very long dance.
Yeah.
And the griffin stops and stands in front of Truegar, and you're still looking down at the ground, bowed, looking down at the ground with your hand out.
Yep.
And the griffin like puts its head down in Truegar's field of vision and pushes your head up. Do you let it?
Yes.
Okay. How do you stand up?
No longer with my left foot.
Actually, let me, because do you allow it to guide you to standing upright, or do you resist at all?
I do not resist at all.
So you allow it to just. So you watch as the griffin lifts Truegar's head up, and Truegar is now standing upright, and then the griffin places its head, its forehead, in Truegar's hand.
With my other hand, I will go up and pat the side of its head. In a, I don't know how to make it sound respectful, but in a.
She rolled a 100.
Oh man, this griffin's
I
gonna
then
keep it
say,
real.
I say quietly so that the griffin hears. Thank you for your consideration.
So you feel the feathers in the griffin's neck kind of ruffle up and fall back down, and it like spreads its wings and pulls them back in, and you hear footsteps behind you, and it kind of catches Truegar off guard because he didn't realize that he had shut out so much of what was going on around him in the last couple of minutes that he didn't notice somebody approaching.
Mm-hmm.
And Salon pops up next to him, and as Salon approaches in front of you, you see the griffin dip its head kind of respectfully to Salon. And he looks at you and says, "Do you notice the wings spread and the feather ruffling?"
Yeah, because my concentration's been broke, so I can concentrate on just more than this.
He's inviting you, or she's inviting you to go for a ride.
Well met, and I get in, I go around, and there is a saddle on it already, correct? Or is
Nope.
nope? Okay.
I don't. She won't let you any harm befall you if she's inviting you.
Mostly just I don't know how to mount a griffin without a stirrup.
I don't know how this thing works.
Yeah.
So, and he guides you to her side, and he says, "Make sure you pat her neck to let her know that you're still here and you're not ignoring her. But you're just gonna climb up behind her wings. She'll hold one wing out for you to climb up behind, and then you'll just sit there. And she does. As you get there, she lifts a wing out. And
I pat inside the head like you'd said. I think you know I was there. I grabbed the wing, and let her guide me onto her back.
okay, so you guys, what is your reaction to watching Truegar mount this griffin?
I'm like, damn, that's cool.
Yeah, Matteo's thinking he's got to get in
The
on
world
this.
walkers
So
have
within
an air
like
force.
half a second of Truegar settling onto her back, she just like launches herself into the air. Truegar's never ridden a griffin before, right? Cool. This will suck for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
As he's taking off, Dimble's like, it's a little puppy.
Yeah.
And for Truegar's fought in battles, and he's felt like the adrenaline fueled exhilaration of a battle, and this is miles beyond that. Right? This is like a freedom that he's never actually felt before. As she flies up higher and higher, and she goes up so high that to you guys with in naked vision, even to like Ash, who has like one of the racially sharp eyes, it's just like a speck in the air. And I need you to make an animal handling check.
May I spend an inspiration to make that an advantage?
You may.
Thank you.
I'm about to spend all 5 of his inspiration.
That's fine. I got the +2 and the pirate points.
That's
so I'm okay
right.
with that.
The pirate point.
The real reason brewed to climb.
Since they don't type points
Yeah,
to two
that's what I say, my
griffins.
inspiration.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Hey.
For real?
For real.
Yeah.
20
Nicely
and 17.
done. So, she's flying almost straight up. And Truegar is having, like, this is a new experience for Truegar. Truegar's so used to having a rein in his hands or a saddle to help steady himself. But Truegar feels, her muscles and her back legs every time she flaps her wings. And somehow you manage to hold on as she's flying almost vertically up. And she gets up, and Truegar looks down. And I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution, that's one of my
Get in the bed.
strong ones. So I will.
Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. A Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah,
May
this
I
is
please
more about
spend-
fear than body.
May I spend an inspiration roll at an advantage?
Come on, you've all got 3 more. Go for
I have 4 more.
Do it for the Air
it.
Force.
No, after this one.
Oh, that after this one.
After this one, yeah.
That will be a modified 20.
Okay. Truegar looks down, and it's a very disconcerting feeling seeing the ground thousands of feet away. But you manage to take comfort in the mount beneath you, because she certainly doesn't seem to mind it. And Truegar doesn't want to look like a wuss. Not after what he just went through, right?
This doesn't bother me at all.
And you feel her muscles start to tense beneath her. And she does a barrel roll. So I'm going to need you to make, call it strength saving throw at disadvantage.
Oh man.
You can spend an inspiration to make it normal.
How fast does she spin doing this barrel roll?
Yeah, although I will spend.
Like she spins and then she spends just like half a second longer than necessary upside
On
down
the upside down part.
before she flips over the other side.
Well, let's see if I'm still on her back after this is over. Oh, centrifugal force may help a little bit.
So before you tell me the result of the roll, because it doesn't matter what you rolled.
Centrifugal force would have helped you.
Look, did he roll well? Is that why he's...
Yeah, I rolled decent. I just got to add my strength to it. You said acrobatics, or was it athletics?
No, it's just straight up strength.
Strength.
What's
Saving?
that save?
Save.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Modified 19. Oh.
Not enough.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wah, wah.
Without a saddle and without training, that's not enough.
Okay.
So you guys are down on the ground, and Solon goes from fairly serious faced to smiling just randomly. He's like, it should be happening right about now.
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody ask?
What?
What's happening now?
Well, if it goes like normal bonds can go, she's going to be toying with him right about now.
Oh, shit. That's what Brudall does.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you listen carefully, you may hear it momentarily. So she goes into the round, and you're upside down for what feels like an eternity. Really only works out to about a half a second. And you manage to hold on. It's when she swings her body back upright that Truegar loses the grasp with his legs and slips off. And you hear it's like an odd... You swear this griffin is laughing at you as you lose your hold and you start falling. Truegar screams, yells.
I will not scream, but I would like to draw upon the knowledge of the many sandstorms that he has gone through and knows that if he does this, the wind affects him much more.
What?
Yes. Yeah. He's gonna fall slow. Right.
Do you have a parachute
I
on?
don't think that's really how that works if you don't have anything to actually catch the wind when you spread yourself like that.
I mean,
Do you have
To
a
an
cape or
extent,
cloak
yeah.
or anything like that?
In sandstorms, if
It's
you
gonna-
want to...
Truegar hasn't told anybody, but he really has a cloak of slow fall.
Yeah, that's right.
I wish to make my death come slower.
So-
that's
by
right.
5 seconds,
That's right.
I will...
So there is a brief instant. Actually, roll perception is still really high up there. Everybody can roll perception because he did point out that if you wait, you'll be able to hear it.
Yeah. I don't know. Richard loves this, but I have a feeling Oglen would be having flashbacks from the moment where Truegar was getting circled like prey. So maybe Oglen's just in his head right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone else, anybody roll a 20 or higher?
I rolled
20.
Mod 20.
Mod 20.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're pretty sure you heard like a surprised yell, just briefly, and then there was nothing.
Oh. Well. Okay.
Dimble's going to use minor illusion as far out as it'll cast and go, and using the illusion cast the noise. I regret nothing.
Unfortunately, Truegar doesn't hear it with the air rushing past his ears.
I'm surprised one of you guys didn't go dibs on his stuff.
Yeah, right.
You have it all on you.
Well, when I go splat.
Well, if you increased your surface area, there's no idea. They have no idea where you're gonna fall.
I'm gonna have to take his coins to remember him by.
So, Truegar's having like this. It's like an odd sense of like calm and panic, all wrapped into one as he's plummeting to the ground. Roll perception, the disadvantage because there's a lot of noise in your ears right now.
That is going to be modified 15.
Cool. As he closes his eyes, like maybe he's accepted that this was just a game and that the griffin really didn't like him. He impacts the griffin's back, and he hears that laugh sounding noise again. And the griffin starts taking him down to the ground. And Truegar's never flown in the air before on an animal, but he's pretty sure that he lost like half the height that they were at in the fall.
A few seconds. Yeah.
And the griffin masterfully caught you. You guys saw like a speck dropping like a rock out of the sky, and then like something else fly under it, and that's all you guys caught.
That's pretty good for a rock.
After like a minute, you touch back on the ground, and it's pretty clear that the griffin would like you off of her back.
I scramble. I don't scramble off. I get off while trying to maintain my balance.
As Truegar gets off, she steps back and she does almost a full-on bow to Truegar, almost to the same level that he did to her. She's just barely above it. Like, she's not going to acknowledge that you're superior to her, but she acknowledges respect for you.
I will return the bow, but my legs will be super far apart. 'Cause I don't want to fall over.
Roll a dex save at advantage.
I don't want to fall over. That is going to be a modified 19. And
So you
bow
guys,
per se
you
mode.
guys watch as Truegar gets off the griffin's back, and she steps back and bows to him. And you're pretty sure it wasn't as deep as his bow to her in the beginning. But as you're watching Truegar bow, like, you're pretty sure he's going to fall, but he manages to pull it back in at the last second.
What a champ.
And the griffin kind of walks over and pushes him over onto the ground. And Salon comes over and offers his hand to help Truegar up. And says, well, if you accept my offer, I already know which griffin's chosen you.
Understood. Thank you for your time. How long was that dance?
A few minutes. And would you like to know her name?
Very much so, yes.
Cloudseeker.
Kind of going to be hard in the desert, eh?
Yeah.
Ain't no clouds there. Ain't no water to make them.
Is that one word, or is there a space between cloud and seeker?
It's one word.
Oh man, guys. Side quest, but griffins though. But Richard aside, I think since the moment Truegar was being circled by these griffins, Oglen had made his way up to grab the fence of the corral and is just stuck there, kind of frozen. You all see him shaking a little bit. And he's just kind of looking down at the ground,
I'm gonna walk up to him. Hey,
gripping harder and harder.
hey, you good?
Oh, yeah. And he lets go.
Hey, you good?
Even though I just had an abundant amount of fresh air, I'm going to leave the stable and grab some more.
Get some more fresh air. That's right.
Oglen, are you gonna go in there?
I don't think so.
No?
It wouldn't be right for Bjorn if
I understand. You can't cheat on him.
Clearly,
It created Bjorn out of an entrapped spirit.
clearly an excuse.
Give Bjorn wings.
Yeah, that's right. Clearly.
At some point, at a higher level with a certain spell, I think he can.
You don't have to lie to me. Are you scared?
A little, yeah.
Well, do you want me to go with you?
No, I don't think I should be in there.
Well, why not?
Do I hear this conversation? Are you
Yeah.
guys-
He's not
You
being-
can roll perception,
He's not
because
being
a lot of shit just went down.
Everyone's hyper aware right now.
Oh my god. I just rolled shit. So.
I mean, Brudall thought that Truegar is about to be eaten, so...
That's what Oglen thought. I
I
don't
think I wasn't on the plate mail because she'd have to pick me out of it.
I don't think I can play the part of prey anymore.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, I think I might go in there.
All right. You seem to have turned out just fine. Truegar looks happier than I've seen him in a long time.
You know, Truegar has a little more experience with this stuff than me, which is why it's a little scary, right?
It is.
Like,
So Salon looks at that group and says, does anyone else want to attempt a bond?
Oglen
Or a familiarity at
visually
least?
steps back.
I think I would. I'm a little nervous though. Just a little bit.
I mean, you're little.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. That makes me normal nervous.
I mean,
then.
you just have to do the same thing he did.
I mean, yeah, these beings are, you know, meant to be treated with respect, so. Alright, I'm gonna adjust my hat a little bit.
Inside, I'm dying because Truegar wasn't really treated with respect until they landed.
Yeah. And then he's gonna kind of like adjust his like jacket.
Let's be clear, you could die. Your character could actually die
I
right
know.
now.
I know.
Okay.
I know. That's why I'm like.
I'll give you guys a griffin, but it's not going to be easy.
I'll give you guys a griffin, but
He's gonna adjust his hat and start walking in.
All this just to say no.
yeah. See, now we can't leave, guys. We have to stay.
I don't know. Now I'm super curious how Truegar feels.
Yeah.
So
Because it's not... So Truegar's feeling when you landed, it wasn't like... wasn't the same feeling that Will himself gets with like a foster dog, right? It's more like the feeling that Will himself has with May, where May is part of his family. Like it's his daughter kind of thing. Like it's a much deeper bond that actually has a magical component to it.
Oh. And here I thought it was just the.
So Truegar has this like this lingering feeling for the griffin that like they both could equally care about each other just as much as the other cares.
Survivor high.
Yeah.
All they have to do is plug their ponytail into the griffin's asshole.
Nice reference.
And I changed it just enough.
We won't get sued.
Truegar's not blue though, so I don't know if it counts.
He's not Bluegar.
Yeah, he's Truegar, not Bluegar.
He might be blue from oxygen deprivation.
Well, now I'm hooked.
I mean, not so hooked that Truegar can't say no, or that he's just going to say yes, but that it's much more of an internal debate, much more of an internal struggle about which decision he should make.
okay. So Matteo's kind of walking in. I figure Matteo.
Okay, so I don't know if you were here, but Matteo's going to attempt.
Yeah.
As you get ready to go in, Dimble puts your hand on your shoulder. You sure you want to do this?
I don't know. I think so.
Are you sure?
At this
I'm
point,
sure.
would Brew have
Okay,
chimed into what's
best
actually
of luck.
happening?
And Dimble gives
Or
some
should I do another
guidance for the
perception?
first one.
Roll percentile.
Thank you.
I think at the very least, everyone would be hyper aware of somebody saying.
79.
Yeah, you're aware that Matteo is talking about doing this.
And
Potato,
can we
before
cast?
you walk in there, I need you to understand. You don't
It's
respect
best that you
animals.
not cast any spells because it needs to be an actual. I'm not telling you not to do it, but the griffins will know.
They'll know there's magic.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I just cast guidance. I didn't hear you say that. Before you said that.
Okay. Well, that sucks for you.
Oh no!
Can I retcon that now, knowing that, or is it too
Now
late?
having that knowledge.
Roll percentile. I'll let the dice decide.
41?
Yeah, you can undo it.
Alright.
I guess you're not that screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, the dice will take care of it for you.
Then instead of casting guidance, he'll just go,
Good luck.
Can I have your
if
stuff?
they eat you, we're not going to hold you against them.
If you're serious about doing this, the way you talk, walk, basically everything that is you, towards Goatfriend and Ember, you don't fucking do that to these.
I know. Like, here's the thing, right? Bjorn, he's kind of like my friend. I mean, I just like to like pick on you, you know.
No,
So
There's no
Salon
disrespect.
hears Brudall, and he says, "Does he treat mounts as not intelligent?"
No. I pick on him by saying his
So-
wolf is a dog.
So if your friend, I believe Truegar, decided to assist me and I gave him Cloudseeker, it would be a bond for the minimum of the rest of his life.
Indeed.
At which point, Cloudseeker could bond with one of his children or his children's children and remain, or she would return here to her pride. Keep that in mind, because if you offend one of these griffins, they won't hesitate to eat you right there, or kill you at the very least.
I understand.
Would that be a casualty of the house wars? Would he be able to be revived?
Tell you what, why don't you leave your stuff here and we'll watch it for you.
There it is.
Well, since you're not actually part of my military assets, it would not fall under the house war until you agree to be part of my military assets. So you could potentially resurrect your foolish friend.
Do you have
too
a
bad we
diamond
can't.
on you?
Not that I know of.
Neither do we, just so you know.
I think you should work on your bonding skills
So
with
at-
animals
at this
before you
point-
do this.
My presentation.
Anybody who's not actively participating in the conversation right now
Mm-hmm.
can roll perception. Oglen can do it at disadvantage.
Yeah. Still
22.
freaking out.
12.
Boom.
Truegar's still on a high.
I'm actually like looking for which stall she's in. I want to wait
Yeah.
for her.
Mod 5.
Oh, she's looking at you.
Okay.
You clearly see her. You're having a hard time noticing the other griffins next to her.
I was really surprised you can make like the con save like when he got back on solid ground.
To not
He lost his
vomit.
lunch and yeah.
That was part of the deck save. Like he would have fallen over and like reeled. You said 22?
Mm-hmm.
So you notice that there's now like kind of an audience around, like other people have come to watch what's going on. But they're all being super quiet. You get this sense that they've done this a few times, that they're aware of what's going on. And if my role playing it hasn't made it in that case, it's a truly awe-inspiring thing to watch a griffin bond with a rider. So Salon looks at Matteo and says, "Are you sure you want to attempt this?"
Gordon, why'd you have to say those words? Are you sure you want to do this?
No, that's not the DM
I know,
asking
I
you,
know,
"Are
yeah,
you sure?"
yeah.
I know, I'm thinking.
That's this guy who's like, "You could actually die
Yeah.
because this guy just said that you're not very nice to mounts."
But remember, the DM is playing this guy.
Yeah, I know.
So,
That's why it's
Okay,
so
let's be
funny.
clear. This guy doesn't actually care if you die. He worries about how your companions will react.
Right.
Yeah.
Gordon, the DM, wants Matteo to die.
Wow. That gives me a lot of hope for this encounter.
Chaotic neutral. DM.
I think it's just chaotic evil at this point for
Yeah.
Matteo.
He's not that bad.
it's not that bad.
Have you ever heard him roleplay with characters?
I know.
He likes money.
He had a pretty funny one-liner today. Unintentional, but funny. That's the way we like him.
So he looks at you and says, just like I asked your friend, are you sure you want to do this? Because it could be very dangerous.
Jeremy the player's like, do I do this? Oh, this is tough. He's gonna say,
Okay, before let's be clear, right?
Yeah.
He offered the griffins as a reward, but that doesn't mean you will 100% get the griffin.
yeah.
Okay, the griffin still has to choose you.
Right. Whatever you do, we have your back.
Was that Richard?
let me
or
just-
the Oglen?
That was Richard.
He's thinking,
Okay, good.
let me just say, he's like, let me just say a quick prayer, calm my nerves. Yandala, please, I know if you're listening, just give me that protection and guidance that I need for this. I know I'm gonna need it. And then he's gonna stand up.
You know what you hear after that prayer? You hear a deep chuckle.
It's like birth.
Hey God, I'm gonna get a free Lambo. I just think you should walk my back.
Yeah, she's not helping you.
Well, no, I wasn't.
This
no,
is
so
on
it was
you.
more of like a clear as mine kind of thing.
Okay. Roll percentile then.
The griffins hear your prayers and they laugh.
They say, yeah, no, it's not trying to get any benefit. It's just for him to like clear his mind.
No, it might get him a benefit. It just might not be from a god. It might be him convincing himself.
9.
You have to make every roll a disadvantage.
Oh no!
Okay, then I'm not going in.
You've already said you were.
Damn it, God.
Jump off,
Don't
run away,
worry,
run
Jeremy.
away.
I put a PowerPoint in the bank. You'll be fine.
True.
That's right. That's right. We got it.
PowerPoint is not worth a war griffin.
A big
Alright.
sky
If you
pirate
squint
ship.
really hard, it might be.
So I figure when Matteo's walking around like normally, right? I figure he walks with like a swagger, but this time it's more of like a confident but not like arrogant walk, right? So like
So he's not walking like he normally walks.
So tone down a little bit.
yeah, he's
Roll
like
performance.
He's like toning it down.
Roll performance. Oh, at disadvantage.
Oh no.
Matteo is the best at being humble.
Oh,
He said so himself.
He did. That's right.
And this isn't because of your percentile roll. This is because Matteo is probably definitely super nervous right now and trying to hide it.
27.
Okay. And you walk to the center just like Truegar did?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand like as tall as a halfling can, but you know,
Okay.
like confidently. But
Okay.
even though he's like inside, like
Roll percentile for me.
okay. 64.
That
Okay.
was a good Nintendo.
Yeah.
Was.
Oh man. I need dice. Hold on a second. I'm using digital dice right now, by the way.
Oh man.
8 million.
I thought he had a
20s, your
table.
phone explodes.
I thought he had a table based on what person. Are you not?
Now I'm making this shit up as I go.
That sounds thematically good.
Yes.
How many
No
20s did you
problem
get
there.
out of 64 D20s?
I rolled
And I could
25.
not-
Okay, so I did roll 25 d20s, and that was just to see how many of the griffins would be interested to begin with. Right? Like, how many of them would be paying attention to you guys anyway.
Mm.
And it was like 17 of them.
Yeah.
So everything else is literally 17 nat 20s. And like the rest were 1s and 3s and 5s.
Yeah.
So, Matteo stands there for a minute. How long does Matteo stand still before maybe he starts to fidget? Because Matteo's pretty ADHD.
Yeah, he is. Maybe like 2-3 minutes before he starts like really like, you know, like tapping his foot or
Okay.
you know, like starting to get a little jittery because of the nerves. Yeah,
We'll
half
roll
the curve.
perception at advantage.
Spend an inspiration to roll it normal.
Yes.
It will be a modified 22.
Damn, nice roll. So, you notice that Cloudseeker also seems to be paying attention to Matteo, just not the same way that, you know, she paid attention to you when she was walking around you. And you notice that she does seem to be looking at a few of the other griffins. Right about that time, 2 griffins kind of come out of the wall and they kind of walk around. It's just the same way they did with Truegar, you know. They're walking around the edge of the flight area. And one of them kind of stops and walks a straight line to Matteo.
Like in front of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. That
Matteo
sucks.
takes off his hat, like a respectful bow, and just kind of like keeps his head down.
Roll performance.
Disadvantage.
No, you can have it at normal.
What a relief.
That's definitely not something Matteo wouldn't do because he's definitely over the top.
Yeah. 'Math's hard. 28.
So you guys watch as the griffin that approached, just walked like a quarter of a circle and then just like beelined for Matteo. Just kind of stands there. And it's like staring Matteo down. Are you like looking down while you're bowing?
Yeah, it's
Or are you like trying to glance up to see what's going
just
on?
like just straight down.
Okay.
Funeral
Like I might be able to like see its paw, but I'm not like.
And this griffin is like looking like at the top of Mateo's head. And you watch it open its beak a couple of times. And then it takes its front left talon and knocks Matteo down. Or attempts to. Make a dexterity saving throw. It can also be acrobatics or athletics.
Okay, dex save. Unnatural 20.
Do you wish to succeed or do you wish to fail?
That's the toughest choice. Grab the talon.
Kiss its talon. Kiss its talon.
My lady.
Oh my god, that's amazing! I didn't even think oh shit. Don't do that.
This is tough.
My dude.
Because it's actually really cool. And it would make me sad if you actually did something cool. Because then I can't just kill you.
He'll let it happen.
So, you guys all watch as this griffin walks out and walks like a quarter of a circle around the arena or the flight area, and it's like walks straight towards Matteo and like stares at the top of his head for what feels like forever, but in actuality is like 10 seconds, and then takes its front left talon and just like reaches for Matteo. And Brudall has been around a lot of wild animals. And you were instantly terrified. Would Brudall be terrified?
So the way I've been doing this right now is that the only one of you that Brudall has ever seen has equal or more animal bonding is the one that's not at the table with Thorin.
Yeah.
So I had doubt that you would be able to show the respect that was necessary. And I have even more doubt that you can show the respect.
The
So
question though is, if you think he's about to be eaten,
If you, yeah,
would
how,
you be
yeah, how
terrified
would
or would you be excited?
at
Yeah.
this
Yes.
at this point,
Roll for humanity.
the last thing Brudall wants to see is somebody getting mauled by an animal, especially a griffin, because he actually.
So it'd be like a
really
gasp
excited. Yeah.
situation. Okay.
I am like turning my head and in fear that you're about to get fucked up.
Not warning any of us, by the way.
So
Nope.
So
He
you
chose
watch.
to go in after
You
everyone.
watch as this griffin's talon pushes Matteo to the ground, and it's almost like splayed over Matteo. And while you guys realize how small Matteo is most of the time, he looks so tiny right now
He's an
compared to this griffin that it's like, oh, maybe this wasn't a great idea, is the kind of impression you get. How does Matteo react to being pinned down like this?
Inside he's like calm. So I guess he's like, a little like surprised.
Yeah.
But I guess he like knew it was coming, sort of, in a way. But he's just gonna like, as he's like laying there, he's just gonna look at it, like in its eyes, eye to eye, and just kind of like, give it a little smile, nice little halfling smile.
Charisma check.
That's how Radford died. Underneath the wall of the screen.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
He became food.
It's definitely deja vu.
Halfling time. Okay, that wasn't any better. Inspiration time.
Didn't Radford keep running his mouth even
Yes.
after he was pinned down?
So you said a charisma check?
We're gonna do
Only
eat meat,
a-
says man who was eaten.
Only a 14.
Why would the leopards eat my face?
You said a 14?
14.
Where's my... Oh, shit. Did anybody see that roll?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's wonderful.
It was wonderful, wasn't it?
It's like an Ant-Man song.
It was terrible for... Well, I mean,
Quick,
actually, it
quick,
wasn't
Jeremy,
terrible. It's
use
actually pretty
your-
cool. But... Can I have your halfling lucky thing, please?
He just used it.
Use it on the
Yeah, I had to use it on myself.
Oh,
I don't
did
have
you?
it. I did.
Wait, for that roll?
Mhm.
Shit.
And then I spent an inspiration to reroll.
Wow. How do you handle if both things critically fail?
Yeah.
Well, the second roll wasn't.
No, I'm saying if he had already used it and he nat one, I rolled a nat one.
Yeah, who gets
Like-
it?
Yeah, what do you do at that point?
Is it just a tie, as if you met the DC, or?
Is this one of those you push them, they caress each other type
Two
moment?
goobers found each other. Look at them.
We're both misfits. We hated everyone but each other.
That reminds me of a girl boy couple in high school.
So, everyone else hears a really odd sound. It's a little scary. And even Matteo hears this sound that's a little scary. Truegar, however, instantly knows that this griffin just laughed at Matteo.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets like to with inches of Matteo's face, and it like opens its beak. And like wraps its beak around Matteo's head.
Oh. Okay.
How do you guys react as you're
Give me a
watching
nice
this?
smile tag.
with your tongue. I'm holding my breath. Like,
I guess I would look at Stalon. Like, what is his face?
He is paying rapt attention. It's
He
almost
looks-
like he's never actually seen this happen before.
Um,
Like that's literally what he looks like. Like this is new to him.
I'd probably keep darting between his expression and then the griffin.
Yeah.
And of course Mateo's corpse. I mean body.
Soon to be worse.
So how does Matteo react?
Well, I mean, he can't really like.
Roll me a wisdom save. Because I know what Jeremy wants. Jeremy wants to be friends with a griffin.
A wisdom save, only a 13.
It's okay.
Mid range.
Mateo's not terrified. Like he's not pissing himself, but he's certainly not
What it smells
like just another day calm.
Yeah, it's like he's like
He's like, oh, this is really bad.
Yeah.
Does
Throws
Matteo
up inside
try to
the
move?
griffin's mouth.
No. So the griffin pulls its head back and snaps its beak. I need you to make a. It's gonna be a dexterity save, just dexterity.
Okay. Dex save.
See if Matteo can move his face out of the way.
15.
Mateo's dead.
Oh no.
No.
Ah,
Why is everybody looking at me like I'm joking?
did you use the
This griffin just bit Mateo's head off.
Oh my gosh.
I was thinking you were gonna make him do a con save while he was inside to see if he would throw up or not because of the smell.
No, he's probably holding his fucking breath right now. Well, he was before he died.
Yeah.
Well,
Pull your
let's
head
see
down
how
off.
this
You should
plays
reach
out.
up with your hand and then flick the beak with one finger as an act of petty defiance.
Okay.
God, I've been waiting a year for fucking Matteo to die.
Oh, this is real.
Okay.
He's not dead.
Oh, I was like, I knew
What
this.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like.
Don't play with us like that.
I'm in a glass
Oh my
case
God.
of emotion.
I love how like at least two people were like, he's just fucking with him and he's winning right now. The two people at this end of the table were like, he's not really dead, but this is funny.
Really did.
We're not that
It
lucky.
wasn't. He already used his lucky.
So
his lucky
the griffin pulls its head back and snaps its beak shut, and you can very clearly see that the griffin definitely caught Mateo's face with the tip of it, the point of its beak. You're gonna take 1 damage.
piercing damage.
Yeah, you don't get to reduce
Yeah, I'm
it
not- I'm
or
not going
avoid it.
down.
The
But
griffin's
you
like,
don't get
"Ugh,
to anyway.
this
It's
hair
literally
looks good."
holding you there.
Yeah.
Surprised his nose isn't missing.
And if same thing for Truegar, if it's not like healed magically within a few hours, it becomes a scar. Where on your face, on your character's face, is up to you, but it's like a 4 to 6 inch long scar on a character's face.
Most of your face.
Yeah. So
Oh, that's true, I guess. Yeah.
Little tiny head.
But the griffin lets you up
Okay.
and bows to you.
I stand up. And
It's like a. It's nothing like the bow that Truegar got from Cloudseeker. It's definitely like a half-assed, hey, kind of bow. It's like not even much effort put in, and you hear the griffin
It's
make
been
that
fun.
laughing sound again, and it holds its wing out. And Salon from the edge kind of chuckles, says, he wants you to get on his back and go for a ride.
Oh.
Does Truegar say anything?
I would like to judge the body language. Does the griffin look like it would enjoy breaking?
Oh, this griffin looks like an asshole.
Okay, so it
This
would,
griffin looks like Mateo's perfect match.
it would enjoy breaking Matteo.
Yes.
This griffin's long ass lifespan suddenly found itself a new toy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Play along, kid. You might just live.
Well, I guess I'm gonna try and like climb up like a.
So it lowers, so
Okay.
you can climb up.
Okay. So I do that.
And it, Cloudseeker didn't do this, but you watch as the griffin looks Matteo straight and like turns its head,
Like just
looks Matteo straight up. I mean, it can turn its head pretty far. It's
Yeah.
half bird
yeah.
or part bird. Turns its head, looks Matteo almost straight in the eyes, and Truegar hears that sound again. And everybody watches as Salon kind of chuckles as the griffin jumps straight up into the air. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Ooh, that's not a good.
Actually, it's a check, really. But either way, it's a check to see if you can hold on.
Okay.
Boy, you wish you were a fighter right now, don't you?
Do I really want to use that inspiration? Yeah, I'll use it.
There's so many more rolls you're gonna have to
No
make.
time like the present.
Even worse. Okay. A 1, unnatural.
What?
I have a -1 to strength.
Oh,
I got a 5 originally. I got a 5. I was like, oh, I
You
can't.
heard the amount of strength checks you had to make? You go, oh, I got -1 in strength. Yeah, I can do this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I got a 5. Let's get that good number. Oh,
Okay, maybe he will die.
It's definitely Matteo to bite off more than he can chew, though.
Mateo's strong.
It's absolutely 100% in character for Matteo to have tried this.
Yeah.
I cannot fault Jeremy for role playing his character properly or truthfully. So, you guys watch as this griffin's like 3 feet in the air, like it literally just pushed itself off the ground, and Matteo instantly falls and hits the ground. Take 1 damage. And the griffin like goes for another few feet, and it just kind of stops, and it like looks around,
Sword bite.
and then looks down at the ground, and like lands again and nudges Matteo,
I'm gonna stand up.
and it holds its wing out again.
I'm gonna say, sorry, I'm not too used to this. Climb back on.
You climb back on.
Yep.
Okay, so the griffin like looks at you, and you're pretty sure it's like that when it looks at him this time. It's like that sarcastic. Are you ready now?
Yeah, ready.
And it jumps off in the air again. Can I get that throw again, please?
Okay, 17.
Alright.
Okay, and this time, Matteo actually manages to hold on, and this griffin like flies almost. It's almost entirely vertically, and the same thing happens. It like gets to such a small spot that you're like, wow, they're like way up there.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much riding the griffin version of Matteo right now. So I'm sorry. So the griffin levels out at some point, and like you hear that sound again. And at this point, you're pretty sure you're being laughed at
Yeah.
as the griffin starts like jerking itself left and right.
Oh,
So roll me a strength check.
not again.
While this is happening, I'd like to look over to Salon and say,
Why do you not roll
"Is
on the
that a
thing
male or
you
female
roll?
dwarf?"
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a male.
Tails right.
I got a 9.
A 9.
Yeah.
So everybody can roll perception
You know, why not?
Oh.
if you want.
Yeah, 30.
I'll go zip back in the city.
I got my binoculars on and everything. It's a spectacle.
I'm not using that panda dice.
Anybody meet or beat a 20? Okay, if you meet or beat a 20, you hear Matteo full-throated screaming. Like, it is like, you've never heard him actually scream before, but he is full-throated screaming right now. Matteo is barely holding on. He doesn't know how, but he is not fallen off yet. And his legs hurt, his arms hurt, and this griffin stops shaking, and it does the laugh again, and it starts a barrel roll.
Oh, no.
Hey guys, it sounds like a mouse is up there.
So, I'm going to need that strength check. Actually, this is a saving throw. So
Okay.
I'm going to need the saving throw.
Ah, 17.
Is not enough.
I got a fucking 18 on the die.
I think 18 was the
He
number.
got like a 19.
Yeah.
So, Matteo panics as he feels this griffin's body twist. And it doesn't even make it all the way to like upside down. And Matteo's grip slips. And he just starts plummeting to the ground. Everyone can roll perception. And the people who got higher than 20 last time can do it at advantage.
Oh, Matt. Hey. So 26.
That 20 as well.
And just about this time, Salon says, well, this is about the time that it should be happening. And anybody who rolled higher than a 20 again, you hear just full-throated, I'm being killed, screaming. And you're 100% sure that Matteo is screaming right now. Matteo falls for what feels like forever.
I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die.
Yes, that's exactly what it feels like. But after like a few seconds, you hit like a very firm surface and you hear the laughing sound again.
Am I dead? Oh, no. Oh, thank God.
And you guys watch slowly as the dots, one dot is falling and the other dot scoops it up and they land after a minute or two and roll. You can do acrobatics, but it's going to be at disadvantage. That can't be changed.
Well, I don't have any inspiration, so I can't change it anyway. Alright, you said acrobatics?
Yep.
That's it. And you said disadvantage?
Yep.
18.
Not enough.
Don't worry. I'm
So
pretty
you
much
watch
ready for
as
bed.
Matteo like rushes to get off of the griffin's back. The griffin's wings up, like it's waiting, but it didn't lower itself this time like it did the last when he got on. And you watch as Matteo gets off and hits the ground, and immediately falls over. So as he gets up onto his knees and he's like leaning over, I need a con save.
6.
Aw.
And he just like retches everything he's
Just
eaten.
on an
Everything he just ate is now
Breakfast beer.
No!
is now on the ground in front of him, and the griffin like walks over and like nudges him into it.
That's gonna be on him all day, isn't it?
And the one person that can clean him up is not here.
The only mending motherfucker.
Brew in that like complete astonishment face and be like, well, there's a companion for everybody.
So the griffin stands and Salon walks over and he like kind of helps you up without actually touching you.
Yeah.
Because now you are disgusting.
Yeah.
That's the one just-
And he says, well, it seems like Stormspike likes you.
Wait,
So cool.
he liked him?
Well, he didn't eat him.
I
So-
had a dog once that really liked a rabbit, but mostly just played and toyed with it till it died.
I get the sense that it'll be more of who can mess with whom the most kind of relationship.
Antagonistic, but they might secretly like it.
Does this change
'Cause
your view on what
I-
you want to do?
I know all of the personalities of the griffins here, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't really determine which griffin will bond with which rider. But Stormspike is definitely the pubescent teenage boy running around, hating everyone, wanting the world to burn.
Didn't know Griffins could have that sort of ambition.
Kind of like him right now. Didn't want to say that I dared to.
Griffin want to write a book about it.
Well, sounds like they will enjoy giving each other hell for years to come.
Matteo feels the same thing. Like now that his stomach's kind of returned to normal and he's on his feet, looking, he feels this like bond with, and it feels like more than just like an emotional bond. It definitely feels like there's something underlying with the griffin as the griffin walks back to its stall and waits.
It slams the door.
Slams the door.
Tip my hat and bow as he's walking and head on out.
It laughs, just straight up laughs at you.
Yep. And then walk out.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk out and be like, oh my god, I'm still alive.
Knees shaking. To the surprise of all of us.
So Salon says, well, that's 2 of you. There are only 7 more of you if you'd like to do this. Anybody else like to try their luck?
If there's a member of our party that does join your cause, but no griffin will bond with them, what will be their recompense in that stead?
Well, not a griffin. We'd have to discuss it. It's very rare that a griffin doesn't bond with a person who at least demonstrates that they respect it. Or at the very least, a griffin wouldn't let you work with it as a form of transportation. Whether or not it would die for you in that case is completely different. But a griffin that's bonded with its rider would die in that rider's stead.
It's a shame Sam isn't here because I feel like Dirt would be like, oh yeah, look.
I didn't know if you guys were going to make it to this part.
He meets the griffin and then they fist bump or something.
They fist bump.
Because these rolls fucking ridiculous for animal handling.
You need a 40 to make this one?
No problem.
He would actually get 2 and have a cherry.
Oh my god.
Wasn't his backpack made such a picnic? Come on, Prince.
So Salon walks into the arena and he's like looking at the throat, but he like looks around and you see him make eye contact with somebody and that person comes out and kind of cleans up Matteo's mess.
Thank you.
And Salon walks back and says, man, your friend is much better at holding his stomach than you are.
Yeah, I guess they call it the Halfling curse. We can never keep our lunch. Well,
That's like the 5th time this week that I've heard somebody mention a halfling curse.
we're not actually cursed. It's just
I
like
know
an
that
inside
it's
joke.
ridiculous. Who explodes when they stop talking?
I don't know. Brew, who does?
Hey, you wouldn't know because I exploded.
Fair point.
Yep.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yep.
You can have inspiration for that. That's so true. Oh, no.
Already
You gotta start using that.
Yeah, I'll do the +1.
Use them on your griffins.
Nope.
He already has a good drive.
So you and I have declined.
If Brew does this,
he will.
Okay.
I know in full roleplay essence that if Brew were to do this, he would sign up. Because there's no fucking way he'd bond with the Griffin and be like, yeah, I'll see you later.
Yeah, right.
Fun times.
Yeah.
So I need everyone who hasn't, because you all are standing like right at the edge in the main entryway. I need everyone who hasn't done this to roll percentile. The 2 people who have already met with Griffins, you're done.
Highest I've rolled on that.
Wow, Truegar, that was quite the experience.
82.
Don't think I'll ever get used to it.
76.
Neither will
And don't think I'll ever get enough of it either.
I. Yeah. It's quite a rush.
47.
You know, that feeling that you're gonna die.
73.
But you don't.
Oh.
Don't worry,
Close to
I've been
it, but-
making rolls for Sam.
Yeah.
Because I know his character well enough to know. Okay, I got to do some math real quick. I'm sorry.
It's like make.
Hopefully I
Make
made
the
that
mess
experience for
Matteo
the 2 of you
made
at
the
least
mess up
feel
is Matteo.
fun.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Absolutely done, Gordon. Thank you.
Very good, very good.
I'm gonna try to rename mine
That'll go well.
the Swiftest.
The swiftest. The
Just
swiftest.
don't shoot it in the back of the head.
Oh,
That's
no.
why I don't want to
Yeah,
mount.
nobody asked. I can't actually give that information away. For
I'm the
free.
dangerous one, not the Griffin.
But whether or not they can be renamed. Probably not the
Get
best
a,
idea.
Get a little nickname going. Ash Jr. But spelled, you know, like the Ash.
While the
Yeah,
pete's being
A
cleaned up,
couple weeks from now, I'll just call his Griffin Better Matteo.
Hey, better. I say bro.
Oh, that's kind of disrespectful, though.
Yeah, wow.
It's the only Griffin that stays indoors with us.
so
And actual Matteo was made to sit outside.
Yeah.
He's with the other Griffins.
I'm like,
Who eventually get tired of him and eat him.
yeah. I'm like, guys, please just let me come back.
This Griffin
Yeah,
picks
no, we're
him
gonna
up
be
and
better
drops
than
you off
that.
at a stable.
So Dimble wants to ask Salon. So does Salid have mounts as magnificent as this?
He has hippogriffs.
The winged hippo things. I'm sorry, did you say hippo?
Now I've got to get a picture.
Yeah.
It's
Because I'm genuinely like, no.
It's like a bird.
Now I gotta know
It's
if
a
it's
bird,
hippo.
but not an eagle.
it's like the
It's
head
like
of a bird, but
uh,
like the body of a deer, or maybe a horse. It has wings.
Because Dimble hears hippo.
Yeah, it sounds like it should be a
It
hippopotamus.
has
Hippopotamus.
elk horns, bird head, and I believe the body is supposed to be like maybe a bear or something. I can't remember what it is.
I'm going to look it up because I
I'm thinking
literally
of the Harry
have
Potter.
to.
Okay, it's a horse.
We have no idea what this is.
Yeah,
So
it's
they-
a horse body, bird head.
I can describe it for you.
From Harry Potter.
What are those
But
hooves?
in D&D though.
Yeah, look up D&D.
It might be different.
It is, probably. D&D does that.
Hey, bird horse.
Bird horse. This is lion bird.
So if you played Witcher before, it looks just like the one in The Witcher.
Spoiler.
So that's actually what it looks like.
So that's what I think of when I think griffin.
Griffins are.
Are they the griffins the ones with like a leopard body?
They're like that, but cooler.
Eagle.
Lion body
Eagle and a lion. Yeah.
had a baby. Well, how else would it be
The
made?
ones in WoW have horns, but
You know, I think a wyvern in D&D would be pretty cool, like the one in WoW. I remember when I first learned how to fly, I spent literally all my gold on every single different color wyvern. And I was like, why can't I fly? And I was like, oh, I forgot to buy the license in Azeroth.
before we leave,
So
I'll
that's
tell
not
you
the
my
griffin
new
looks
mission
like
for
either.
my hunter because
Okay.
it's gonna be a pain in the ass.
So definitely more fierce.
Oh, yeah.
I want
Griffins
I
actually
want to
prey
get
on
a griffin
hippogriffs.
basically for a pet, and I found out
So we got
what I
the
have to
Chad
do to do
now.
that.
The exotic
Yeah,
beast
man.
hunter's fun.
You don't
Just
have
taking
one at all.
anything and everything.
You don't have anything.
Oh,
You haven't
true.
agreed to do anything.
Yeah, true.
He's not going to give you a war griffin for nothing.
Yeah.
So he laughs at you and says, no, they're well, all you really need to be concerned about is that those guys, and he points to the griffins, eat them for breakfast and lunch and dinner in the wild. obviously these guys don't have to hunt for their food, and we bring them food. But they're kind of like cuddly versions of griffins.
Be expected. I mean, much like peregrine falcons eat mallards. It's not surprising.
Oh, I wasn't done mathing. Let me finish the math first.
So, you guys, what was it like riding the griffins?
Honestly, I kind of blacked out. I don't really remember.
So does it
Oh, it's thrilling.
make you want one?
Oh yes. Oh. Yeah.
Are you gonna stay here and fight?
If that's what the guild wills. I think it's kind of an all or nothing kind of thing.
Go ahead.
So
I thought you were gonna say something.
if the following people would like to spend an inspiration to make one more percentile roll, they may. Okay. Ash, Oglen, actually everyone except for Thorin.
Oh, alright. I don't have any inspiration.
No,
Yeah,
I like
me
my
and Will are-
number. It's
I
pretty
mean,
Will
chill.
are good.
inspiration for my first week.
I'll do it.
You don't have to. The two of you don't have to.
No.
Oh, okay.
You've successfully gone through the role play.
Gotcha.
I mean, everybody else has to do role play as well. This is just a way to help their characters along.
I'll do
It is like an ecstasy.
You're gonna
that I
roll
have.
one more percentile?
Yeah.
To answer your question, Dimble, it is like an ecstasy which I have rarely felt.
63.
And I don't know if I will ever get used to that
That's
feeling.
actually funny. That's what your average was already. You literally rolled your average.
50.
I literally rolled his average. So, we'll probably end a little early tonight. Actually, we won't be. It's after 9, so I didn't realize. I thought it was after 8. So we're actually ending soon, so that I don't have to force Thorin into a situation, and we'll let Sam deal with it next week. Actually, we'll end now. It's actually a good time to end. Unless anybody else is going to, their characters are going to attempt to bond with a griffin.
Oglen is not.
No. It's not that I don't want to.
This will be the last chance to roleplay it, unless you're Sam.
Nope.
It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I morally object to being a mercenary again.
Alright. Okay, well, that's the end of the session. We'll end there.
And that's actually really good because Sam won't know how to roleplay like Matteo did, so very interesting to see how he does it.
Oh,
I'm not going to post this session's
My whole
video
backstory
until
was like,
after
hey,
the
I'm
session.
kind of done being a mercenary.
No.
I want to go.
The internet was
adventuring.
out.
That's right, you said that
Like,
earlier.
Every
Right.
time
And
I
now
would
it's
go
like, hey,
to,
I'm
like, I have all the
on
videos
assignment
waiting to
home
upload.
forever, but I need
But literally, when I would get up and go to start the upload while I was
Yeah.
I don't really
I
don't know if I'll ever get back.
But
to
I
that.
now this
knew
war,
that
it's
I
not called a
couldn't.
house war, is it? It is also a house war.
House War, House Feud, either one of them applies.
It's our 4.
One side wears like royal purple, the other side wears royal.
Did you get the
purple.
griffin's name, the one that liked you?
Stormspike.
Okay.
Dark smoke puncher.
You can end the video, Will.
Dark reunion.
The griffin flies into the sun
Anybody
and
seen Psyche?
falls down at 1,000 feet
Don't
per
worry about
second.
Tavern Talk tonight.
Lands on the ground with its knee down and its fist on its knee, and it looks up and you realize it's not a griffin. It's half angel, half demon. And it's your new character. Matteo is dead from the impact.